Everybody, it's Chav, nobody else's auto. 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, Sunday evening time for Sunday Night Live chat. Got a big group already on YouTube. Frank's here, Bill's here, Big Job's here, Pete's on, Rico and Jess are with us, Kenny's on, Norma's already here. Looks like we are connected on Facebook as well. So, as always, we are live on two formats, both Facebook and YouTube. Sam's on with us. Facebook has been changing their format of the screen a little bit, so I'm still kind of getting used to that. Number one's on with us again. So as you see me glancing back and forth, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to keep track of both formats as we jump on here and roll into the chat. Facebook, we have been fighting as always. If you are on Facebook with us and you do have issues, you can always jump on over to the Nobody's Show channel on YouTube. We seem to be having better luck with that feed. James is here. Lee from New York made it tonight. Alec is on from New Hampshire on Facebook. So Facebook's at least somewhat working for the time being. So we'll take that as a win to start with. Big Job's ready to go. Big Job ain't messing around. He wants that right out of the gate. Back to Facebook. Scott's on. Joe's here. So glad you guys made it as well. Gary says, let's get the badge. Everyone wants the Hudson badge. Everyone wants to get rolling with the Hudson badge right out of the gate. So there it is. We'll get started with it. Gary wants it too. Big Job's ready to go. Glenn from Minnesota's on. Joseph's on with us on Facebook as well. So we got a great group jumping on right out of the gate tonight. David W. is on. A lot of familiar faces back on with us again. Still shocks me that you guys come back every week, but you do. Kevin's on. William Alderman. So good group on right out of the gate. Mark's on. Jansen's on, a Great Bend native transplanted to Paola, Kansas. Glad you're on. Barry's on Facebook. Got a lot of people jumping on Facebook. Maybe, I doubt it, but maybe Facebook might work tonight. You never know. But if you do have issues with Facebook, be sure to jump on over to the YouTube channel on Nobody's Show. We seem to have a little better luck with the feed there. So let's see. Jim's on. Rusty's here. So lots of big ground on right out of the gate. Cole's here with us tonight. Hudson badge. That's right, Bill. I saw that. I just haven't caught up with you yet. Bill says any tornado damage. The tornadoes that hit the other night were actually down by Andover, which is east of Wichita. We had a ton of wind Friday night, but fortunately no tornadoes. I had a lot of hoods blown up. I did have some damage. Eloy's here. Chris made it. Trying to keep up with everybody, making sure I don't miss anybody. If I do, I apologize. But we did have some storm damage. I had one kind of a little lean-to building that had a side blown off of it. I had to fix it yesterday morning. And then Dad had a big, huge window blown out of one of his buildings. So we fixed it. Yeah, well, we didn't fix the window. We got it boarded up and stuff yesterday afternoon. So not a ton of damage. I've still got a bunch of hoods and trunk lids that blew up. I need to go get closed. Stuff that didn't have latches on it or, weren't latched, things like that. So I got a lot of cleanup like that to do, but actual damage was not terrible. It did waste most of yesterday doing fixing storm damage that I hadn't planned on doing, but that's part of the deal, I guess. So, but so it wasn't near as bad as it could have been. I guess let's put it that way. I was actually downtown Friday night. Number one, do you have a storm cellar? No, I don't have a storm cellar. So that's right. Kevin said Andover got hit pretty good. I was actually downtown Friday night. They actually have a little deal here called where they have a consumption district where they close off a street and, they serve beer and have food trucks and just kind of a downtown community event they do once a month. And that happened to be last Friday night. And I do help out with that some as well with their stuff. If you're on Facebook, the Great Bend Alive page on Facebook, you can check that on there as well. So I help them with a lot of their media and things like that. But because it's a great thing until you're down there on a blocked off street with tables and chairs and drinks and you have 60, 70 mile an hour winds come through, things get pretty interesting. So we got to clean that up real quick in the wind. But like I said, it could have been way worse. Fortunately, it wasn't any worse right here than it was. But so it's the way it goes. Sometimes we live in Kansas. That does happen. So, Bill, without Googling, I didn't know how close. Yeah, the tornado was probably a little over 100 miles away from me where Andover is. So, yeah, could have been, not terrible. Could have been worse, but we had a little bit, but not terrible. So, 77-ish Nova parts. I've got a 75 Nova, and I've got a couple of Buicks in that body style, Cole. So, let's see. Hudson badge. All right, are we all caught up? Things kind of got coming fast and furious there. I hope I didn't miss anybody. So, kind of got off track there for a second. Things were scrolling so fast between both formats that I got a little bit mixed up. But anyway, I guess let's go ahead and get rolling. As always, if you're on Facebook, please throw a share out there. If you're on YouTube, let your friends know that we're on. Invite them to jump on over, shoot them a text, whatever. Tell them to jump on with us and hang out tonight. Autocorrect on your comments is, be sure to double check your comments before you hit send. If autocorrect changes something and I can't make it out, then I have to skip your comment because I can't sit there and spend 20, 30 seconds trying to decipher what it meant. So please check your autocorrect. Trolls, you guys are great about making sure trolls aren't welcome here. I ignore them. They want my attention. I'm going to ignore them. You guys are great about running them off. I appreciate that. If you are on the Nobody Show page on Facebook, I cannot see those comments. This is a shared video to the Nobody Show page on Facebook from the Nobody Else's Auto page. If you want to comment, participate in the auctions, please get on the Nobody Else's Auto page on Facebook or the Nobody Show YouTube channel if you want to comment and participate, because I do not see the comments from the Nobody Show Facebook page. Super chats, always great. Always appreciate those. And like I said, tell your friends, let them know we're on. Have them come over and join the crowd and join the fun of the Sunday night circus, I guess, is kind of what it seems like it's turning into. Sebastian's here with us. Kenny's thirsty again. Geez, you guys are thirsty tonight. Jim, missed Toy Tuesday? No, you actually didn't miss Toy Tuesday because we didn't do a Toy Tuesday. I had to run Dad to Kansas City for a checkup on his ankle. So I got back, but it was after 6 before I got back to Great Bend. So I knew it was going to be close. So that's why I just canceled it when we were on Sunday night. I just told everybody we weren't planning on doing it because didn't know for sure when I would be back exactly. So you didn't miss anything. How's that, Jim? However, we got a cool one coming up this week. Bill says, hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate that. I know you always got my back on that. I better keep this up because you guys are thirsty tonight. Alec, wore his t-shirt today to the first car show. Got some exposure to the Northeast. That's cool. Thanks, Alec. Appreciate that. Kevin, how's his ankle doing? Fortunately, it is still exactly where they put it, which is a good thing. The doctor was real pleased with it, and it was weird. I looked at the x-ray. I think I've told you before. It looked like a unibit they put up in there. Basically, it's got this big shaft that the doctor said he just hammered it up into his leg bone, just beat it up into his leg bone. And once they got that shaft smashed into his leg bone, then that's what they attached the new ankle to. So, yeah, it's pretty important that it is staying put because the new ankle's attached to the shaft that they jammed into the leg bone. So if something goes haywire, it's not going to be good. So fortunately, it was a good checkup and everything was good. Bobby says switching to YouTube, Facebook keeps freezing. Well, that's pretty typical of Facebook from what we've been having in the last several months, Bobby. So yeah, please jump on over to the YouTube channel, Nobody Show over there, and hop on with us there. So, but anyway, so that's what I was doing. We went up Monday, came back Tuesday, had to do some running around in Kansas City while we were up there and get a couple things done. So David from Scott City's on with us. Glad you're here, David. So, yeah, it's good news that his ankle's doing what it's supposed to do for as critical as that situation was. But on the way back, we stopped at a place Tuesday afternoon that I've always known about. I've known about it forever, but not that I can remember ever stopping there. Dad said we stopped there one time in about 1980 when I was a little kid, but I don't remember it. Place in eastern Kansas called Easy Jacks. They've got a couple thousand cars there too. And they don't really do a lot of advertising or anything anymore. but they are still there. So we did get to walk around, look around a little bit there. Extremely overgrown with trees, so it's a little bit difficult to get a good perception of everything they had. But he said he's got a couple thousand cars. Jamin, nice guy. Spent a couple hours there with him, looking around, chatting with him about the business, and it was cool to stop there because, like I said, I've never done it. Always say you're going to do it, never done it, never had. And when Dad had his appointment, we had figured, we could pencil in a little time, make that stop. So we did. So yeah, he doesn't really do a lot of internet stuff. He still advertises in Hemmings a little bit, but he's got a couple thousand cars, so you never know what he may or may not have there. Like I said, it was very difficult. It was so overgrown with evergreens that there were some cars that were literally buried in the evergreens, and it was almost difficult to see what was there. But he had a lot of cool stuff. So picked up a couple of things, and let's see. We got some comments popping up. We'll finish up with that Easy Jacks in a minute. Mark, in your opinion, what's the best builder you have in your yard? I got 1,500 cars out there. I got a lot of stuff that's pretty decent stuff. I got stuff that runs and drives. I've got, restored cars that are for sale. So, I've got, that's a pretty broad question, Mark. Like I said, if you look at some of the videos, or give me a call if you got an idea what you want. But it's just, and it changes all the time. So I don't know how to answer that. Brian with Dispatch is on. James says, adjust the camera view. You can't see enough of Heather. Sebastian, what was the name of the place? It's Easy Jacks. Yep, David W. caught it. Javon says, doing a great job. Keep on going. That's what we're trying to do. Appreciate that. Jess, does he have a Nash steering wheel? I don't know. Like I said, it was kind of tough to take it all in for as overgrown as things were. But he might. You never know. Let's see. Big job. That churns my stomach. What you described about panning that pin in your... Yeah. Sorry about that. So, yeah, Easy Jacks and Sons. That's it. And Jamin just does everything by himself, kind of like I do. So, but like I said, it was cool to finally stop, make that connection. Like I said, picked up a few things. Mark says, what would I build? Stuff. I've got a few that I'm going to keep to build, but I've got my 67 GTO convertible that a guy that's supposed to be working on, my 74 Z28, the 39 Ford Deluxe Coupe. Those are ones that I've, the 40 Ford cab over that's on the shirt. That's a few that we've got that are ours that we're keeping to build. But that's a pretty broad question. So, Joseph, any course reports for an 80 Camaro? I don't know. You have to give me a shout tomorrow. I can get it on my list and double check it. But like I said, it was cool to make the connection. They got a lot of good stuff there. And there's going to be a surprise coming up because I picked up something I'm going to share with you at Easy Jacks. I'm going to share with you on Toy Tuesday. So you're going to have to wait for that, but it's a cool piece. It's a keeper piece, display type piece for me, but it was cool. So I was pretty excited about it. We're going to check that out on Tuesday night for Toy Tuesday. William, bit of trivia. What's your oldest vehicle and latest on the property? Oldest is back into the 20s and newest is around 2010, 2012. Not a lot of either one, but that's kind of where they were, basically that's kind of the spread. Easy Jacks is by Junction City, Kansas. It's not in it. It's a couple miles outside of town. But it's Junction City, Kansas is where they're at. Alec, any old Demon or Duster badges? I might have some Duster badges on the cars, but no Demons. I'm pretty sure I don't have any Demons. Let's see. Everybody's ready to drink. Keep drinking. I'll just keep this in my hand. Keep doing this. Norm was just going to ask if you got anything while I was there. Yep. I did. Well, I put one piece on eBay. I picked up a 48 Chevy car grill. I put it on eBay today. But the other piece I got, you're going to have to wait till Tuesday night. It's epic. But I was pretty excited to see it when I stumbled across it. So, but did get a 47, 48 Chevy car grill for inventory that, like I said, I threw on eBay. It's going to sell. But the other piece, we'll check it out soon. William, the video of the 98 was great. Thanks. Appreciate that. Tony made it a little bit late, but he made it. That's cool. Norma says I guess she'll she'll have to wait till Tuesday. So, but yeah, the 98, the 75 98 video. I hope you guys all caught that. It was a super cool video. super cool car. I love the story. There's a lot more to it, actually. We got a little bit of the family story with it. But what we're going to do, the next video, there's a lot more to it that I remember, or not necessarily about that car, but from back when I was a little kid, when we pulled with the new car prep sheet is still in that car. And the old mechanic that prepped it, I knew him when I was a little kid. So things like that, those are some ties that, are going to be kind of cool that are going to come out in the next video. So that's kind of what that next video is going to be cool too. But the car is super neat. Jansen, 36 Ford 5-window coupe parts. I don't have any 36 cars at all right now. No coupes or even regular cars in 36 Ford right now, Jansen. Renegade's Garage made it. Alex, my dad owned a Hudson, which was a daily driver in the 50s. He sold it in 64. Yep, it brings back a lot of memories for people. But, what I love about those 70s cars, especially those big cars, Sebastian, do you have any Hudson Hornets? I've got a 53 that is a Hornet, I think. But so many of those cars got derbied. Those things 20 years ago, everybody derbied every Chevy, or every Impala, every Caprice, every Electra, every Cadillac, every 98, any of that stuff. They derbied all of them. Anything they could find of those big GM cars from the 70s. And just finding any of them anymore is tough. And like I said, with this car being local, it was literally 15 minutes from the driveway of the dealership where the car was sold from. And actually, I think it was in 74, like November of 74, if I remember correctly, because the sales receipt is in it too. So we got a lot of cool documentation. It's the next video I'm excited about because I think it's going to be really cool. So I'm glad you guys liked that video. It is a neat car. It is a neat story. And we had fun with it. It was, fun pulling the thing out and getting the daughters to share their memories about it. So Jennifer says, Jason will be here shortly. His high life is waiting. All right. Bill says, yeah, what a white interior. Yeah, that thing is a whole lot of white interior. A whole lot of white interior. But and the vinyl top was actually a dealer add-on. The side moldings were dealer add-on. And I asked Dad, I said, are you sure that was a dealer add-on vinyl top? He goes, yeah. He goes, I can tell by the way the moldings are. He goes, I know who did them. So the guy he remembers the guy in the body shop that made the trim for him. So it was a dealer added vinyl top to match the white interior. But pretty cool story. There's more to it. I can't wait. And actually, we've been talking with Angelo from Old Cars Weekly. They want to do a story on the car. So if you've not subscribed to Old Cars Weekly, you got to do that. It's such a great magazine with so much diversity in it that be sure to check that out because I need to get with Angelo and get to work on that, find out how he wants me to write the article up so they can run it in Old Cars Weekly even as well. So, but like I said, and I've preached about Old Cars Weekly on it before, but it's a great publication because it is, you don't hardly ever see a 69 Camaro in it. Which isn't anything bad with 69 Camaros, but they're in every other magazine you open. So a lot of different stuff. That's what's so great about Old Cars Weekly. Just like I said, they want to run an article on this. It's because it's different. It's a garage find. It's different. So lots of comments popping up. Let me get to them here real quick so I don't lose anybody. Pete, pretty sure the lady is expecting to see you drive Trump in the next parade. Wall DC, I own a 53 Hudson Super Wasp, had the engine rebuilt a few years back. I didn't know you could just use Pontiac pistons in the 262 Hudson. Okay, I didn't know that. Big job. Painted a Hudson back in '79 for a guy. It was gold, but it looked like heck with that color. Oh. There's some Hudson for you. So stay tuned. We'll have more. We'll have a lot more coming out of Oldsmobile. If Old Cars Weekly wants to run a story on it, we'll do another video with some more details. We'll get it cleaned up. I don't know when we're going to get it into the shop. Dad still got that Packard on the lift since he had his ankle surgery a couple months ago. He hasn't done anything with the Packard. So once he gets the Packard running, then he wants to get that Olds over on the lift and get quarter extensions ordered for it, get it running. So he's pretty excited about it. I'm pretty excited about it. It's a cool car. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the video. What else is coming up? Lawrence Swap Meet. Pete, Old Cars Weekly cover the Kansas Corvette legislation. Whatever came on my proposal. Nothing became out of when I testified at the House committee hearing. Nothing became out of it legally. However, part of my issue that we were presenting in this House bill, when Kansas Highway Patrol testified, they actually said that part of what we had written in the bill was not correct. Well, come to find out, what we had written in the bill was correct based on the KHP manual. They had a typo in their manual. So part of what we were trying to get accomplished with that bill was actually addressed in one part of KHP's manual. When Kansas Highway Patrol testified, they said, no, you don't need this in this bill because that's the way the law is already written. Well, when you got their manual out about antique vehicle inspections, their manual on the front cover said otherwise. So the bill didn't go anywhere, but we did accomplish a big chunk of what we were trying to get done by finding this typo in the Kansas Highway Patrol manual. That typo has been a massive amount of it, created a massive amount of aggravation for me for the last 2 years. So I'm glad we figured it out, but it's been extremely frustrating for me that because of a typo, I've had 2 years of aggravation on title work because of a typo in their manual. So the bill didn't go anywhere, but we did accomplish quite a bit by presenting the bill and having the hearing. So Richard's on with us. William, impact of the gas crash, big bold brash 70s, land yachts. 70s were more than disco. Yeah. So the bill didn't go anywhere, but we did get something accomplished, and which is great because now I'm getting titles done consistently. And I know, and some of you guys, that's an issue. I get that there's a lot of sales I lost over the last couple of years because of having to fight trying to get titles done. So we did accomplish something. Pete says, yeah, consider it a win. That's right. And I do. We didn't get everything we wanted, but I got stuff fixed enough to where it fixed my problem and I can get title work done. So yeah, I'm going to take it as a win. Plus, it was a great experience. It really was. Having the opportunity to testify before a House committee hearing, not only just on my specific bill, but there were a lot of questions about how the antique vehicle titling law in Kansas went because of the Corvette deal with the VIN inspections. I mean, that came up in the hearing. There was a lot of discussion about all of these different issues, partially because of the bill that my representative helped me bring to the House, as well as knowing they're dealing with the VIN inspection on the Corvette deal. So it was a great experience for me getting out of the Capitol, getting to testify at a committee hearing. There again, all that stuff you learn every day, and that's what happened for me. It was a great experience, and I learned a ton from it. And we didn't get everything, but we got some stuff accomplished. It's just frustrating when you find out after fighting it for 2 years that it was all because of a typo, but it was. So anyway, Big Job says, I love to paint, but haven't done anything for a long time. A guy worked for me a long time, paints all the base coat, clear coat for him. So Brian says, Chad, when I open the eBay store, it always says 0 items for sale. That might be because you're in Canada, and I've got my auction set for U.S. only because of a lot of the big stuff that I don't have a good way to ship to Canada. So since you're probably looking from a Canadian-based account, that's probably why it's not showing you anything. That's a badge. A couple more things I had to discuss here real quick. And as always, we're in open chat. If you guys have something, be sure to throw it out there. Lawrence Swap Meet coming up next weekend. Definitely going to hope to see Rico and Jess there. And hope to see some more of you guys there. It's a pretty good swap meet, pretty good sized. Rogers just says hi. He's working now. He's going to watch later. That's cool. Well, glad you made it. Glad you hung out for a few minutes, Roger. Big job. Vermont titles is good for old cars with no title. I did see that Buzz just posted that video that Uncle Tony did on Roadkill about the Vermont title situation. And I don't know how that's going to go. I didn't watch the video, but when you start throwing a lot of that stuff out there that public, that sometimes generates the wrong attention too. So, Joseph, what's your eBay store name? It's very simple. Nobody Else's Auto. All lowercase, all run together. Nobody Else's Auto. No spaces, no nothing is the eBay store. And as always, if you guys see something on eBay you're interested in, call me. I can usually do you a better deal off of eBay. So, because I'm marking everything up to cover eBay. David, I have a 68 CJ5 that the owner passed away. How hard is it going to be to get a title? Hasn't been tagged in 30 years. Depends on what state you're in, David. Every state is different. David said, what's eBay? So I just got that on the other comment. So, but yeah, Nobody Else's Auto is the eBay store name. So you can just go in there and check that stuff out as well. But Lawrence Swap Meet, who's all going? I know Rico and Jess are going. Anybody else going to be there? Great swap meet. I have absolutely no reason to go. The way I've been buying cars this year, I don't need to go look for more junk. But it's a swap meet, and I've been going for years. So, David, you're okay. You're the one in Scott City. Okay, there is a process to it. In Kansas, it's not too bad, but there is a process to it with the bill of sale and things like that. So, it depends if the owner that passed away was the original owner or not. So, yeah, I remember you saying earlier you were from Scott City, David. I've had so many people jump on. I spaced that off, so apologize for that. But like I said, swap meets are always a great time. You always get to see your friends and hang out. So if anybody else is going to be there, be sure to let me know. If you see me, be sure to stop and say hi or yell. Like I said, I'd be curious to see who else is going besides Rico and Jess. I know I'll see them there. Big Job bought old Kawasaki for his son and had a Vermont title. David, you ever go to the swap as a vendor? I set up at Wichita primarily because I've been set that Wichita's the only swap meet we've been setting up there for over 30 years. And it is, almost more of a social event than anything. Usually sell enough to cover your expenses, but it's not really worth the time and trouble it takes to do it. But I've got a great spot. A lot of you guys come by and see me. And so I do still set up at Wichita, but that's the only one. And that's the only one I've done for years. We used to set up at the Lawrence Swap Meet, but that was, I think last time we set up the Lawrence Swap Meet was, I think I was with Chrysler because I drove in that one time. One of the last times Dad set up, that would have been in 98 was probably the last time we set up anything at Lawrence. So mainly going to look around, pick up some stuff, see some friends. So Josh, any plans for a walk around the F bodies? Not at this point. I need to do it. But right now my videos that I'm concentrating on are new inventory. I've got so much new inventory to do that I've got to get some of that stuff shot. We do got to start working some of that F-body stuff in. I know a lot of you guys want to see it, but right now just trying to keep content up on new inventory so that everybody sees just what's hitting the ground. Right now I think I've got 6 videos on new inventory right now, and I've got at least that many more vehicles that haven't even been shot yet. So we'll get you some more F-body stuff. It's just right now I'm just trying to keep up with the new inventory thing. Kevin, when's the Lawrence Swap Meet? Kevin Hobart, Kevin L wants to know the same thing. It is next weekend, or this weekend, I guess. We'll be leaving Friday morning and heading to Lawrence in Lawrence, Kansas. So David W., the online shopping world has hurt swap meets. Yes, that has affected it for sure. Josh says he's waiting patiently. We'll get some more F-bodies worked in, trust me. The problem with me and F-bodies is there really isn't an F-body section because I've got F-bodies everywhere. I've got 6 shops. 4 of them have F-bodies in them, plus all the F-bodies in the yard, plus some of the F-bodies in the yard are scattered because I don't have them all in the section. I've got F-bodies running out of my ears. It's ridiculous, but oh well. Could be worse problems to have, I guess. So put it on your calendar. Let me know if you're going to be there. Josh, just get a video as many as you can. LOL. Okay. So that's where I'll be Friday and Saturday or sometime in that. I don't know exactly when we're going to get out of here on Friday or when we'll be back, but that's kind of the plan. So Sebastian, you only buy cars from Kansas or would you buy cars from Texas? I'll buy cars from anywhere. The problem is logistics of getting them shipped because I don't have time to chase them all. I'm making headway on my list. I've got most of the first page picked up. Still got quite a few on the second page and quite a few on the third page. But there's still 20 some cars on here that I haven't picked up yet either. So going too terribly far is the biggest problem with going out of Kansas. These first two trucks on this list, I bought those in 2010, and I haven't picked them up yet. I know where they're at, so I'm not worried about it. I see the guy several times a year. She's like, yeah, we'll get to them whenever. So not worried about it. But yeah, I got stuff scattered everywhere. So it's the logistics and the time to haul them is the problem. But I do have a lot of people that, will bring something in to trade it in on something, or they're coming through. So they'll drag one with them and sell it to me. So that does happen occasionally as well. I had a guy bring one from California. He lives in California, but he has a place in Eastern Kansas. He's like, hey, I'm coming back with an empty trailer. I need to get rid of this car. You want it? If I drag it back, what do you give me for it? So I ended up buying it, and he drug it here from California. So, number one, can we put in request looking for a pair of Thrush outsider side pipes? I don't have anything out there with side pipes on it, actually. I think people removed them after the 70s. I don't know. They're kind of making a comeback, but I don't have anything out there with side pipes on it. Jeff from Ottawa, Canada. I'll be at the swap meet if I come into some big money very soon. So, no. David, how do I find most of my cars? Multiple answers to that, but primarily a lot of stuff anymore is word of mouth. Driving around and finding the stuff in the tree rows is pretty much over. There's once in a great while, but that stuff's pretty much gone. I did luck into that big deal out in Western Kansas, out in the pasture, where those 5 cars have been sitting there forever. They put that up on a local classified ad site, and I just happened to see it, pretty quickly. But a lot of it's word of mouth. Guys that have had stuff stashed for years that they're kind of thinning down on. Collectors that have had, extra cars sitting around that were one of these days projects they may not be getting to. Parts cars left over from restoration they did that, know that I keep this stuff. They'll call me. Obviously the problem with that, a lot of that stuff is the guys that saved it for a reason, which obviously means it's a lot more expensive than when you could drag the stuff out of a tree row for $100 too. So that is all reflected in prices even on parts, because buying this stuff for $100 out of a tree row doesn't really happen anymore. Iron guys, I know a lot of iron guys. They know this stuff is worth more to me than it is for scrap. So a lot of times I'll get calls from iron guys, say, hey, you interested in this? So that's to answer your question, David, all over. But a lot of it anymore is word of mouth, because I've gotten relationships built with a lot of people in those different circles, that call me iron guys, collectors, things like that. So let's see. Old School's here with us. Big job. I was thinking of posting some stuff on YouTube as soon as I figure it out, or just give a son to help me. Yeah, it's fun to put stuff on YouTube and see what was going on. So, Aaron just jumped on with us on Facebook. Glad you made it. Let's see. Back to YouTube. I got comments coming in on YouTube pretty quickly here. So, Shopcat made it. Anybody watching The Girl from Plainville, a wackadoodle story? Never heard of it. Tweedly D's on with us. Let's see. Sebastian, does anybody need a mirror for a 60s Mac? I don't know much of that big truck stuff's kind of out of my realm, but if anybody's doing any Mac stuff, sounds like Sebastian came up with a mirror for. Wait, anybody get any thirsty? I ain't had that up there in a while. So anyway, one other quick thing I want to touch on real quick before we get into badges. That buddy of mine who's been thinning stuff out that I've been buying a lot of stuff from, went up to his place, picked up a ton of grills the other day. I did post the still pictures on Facebook of all of those grills that were on that one video I did before we dug all the stuff out of the building. So went up there and did that, but I actually didn't gain any ground. So I brought a big load back, and I bought more than what I hauled back. So I guess that didn't work out for me on the labor side of things. So anyway, but we'll have more cool stuff coming from there as well, including in the stuff I bought the other day. More badges, not a lot of badges, but a few badges. Some cool like horn buttons with cool badges on them. Some cans. So some stuff that's going to be popping up on here after we get after I get this stuff picked up, because I didn't pick it. I'd already loaded for the day and then bought all the rest of this stuff before I left. So didn't gain much there, but a lot of cool stuff going to be coming in, including some stuff that's going to be on here for you guys. So you'll definitely want to stay tuned to that. Let's see. Make sure I'm caught up here, and it looks like we are at this point. Like I said, this new Facebook format is taking a few minutes for me to keep up with. So, Sebastian, what's the can on the shelf? That's a Husky. This is a great can. This is the side that was up. This one's pretty amazing. This thing has outstanding graphics on it. This is one side of it. And there's the other side where the dog is jumping. 1 U.S. Court, Husky, Pennsylvania Motor Oil. Sealed and guaranteed by the Western Oil and Fuel Company. So this is a pretty epic can. I mean, great colors. Old School says nice can in all caps. Yeah. It's a cool piece. So this can's actually been relidded. Alec likes it. Norman likes it. Kevin, both Kevins like it. Sebastian says it's a gorgeous can. Yeah, this can's been relidded. If you look real close, you see the very tips of these flashes or whatever are chopped off because this can was relidded at some point in its life. So Alex says he's never even heard of it. Pete says it's awesome. Kenny's never seen it or heard of it. Tweedledee digs it. There was a second Husky we've had. So I think we looked at this can earlier, but I was just looking for something kind of cool to throw on the shelf tonight, and thought, yeah, this is a good one. So we threw it up there. Williams has great colors, and that's part of the reason these cans are so desirable. Is obviously great graphics with the dog, the colors. This is obviously a blue background can. They make this can in a yellow background as well. Jim says Husky cans are like gold. Yeah, that's about what I had to pay for this one. Was just about. In fact, I don't know what this weighs. It probably wasn't much different than what gold would have cost. So you're right, Jim. They are like gold, but there again, when you look at them, you can see why. Bob likes the can, and he also likes the Heather picture. So William says liquid gold. Now this thing's empty. I said it's been relidded. There's nothing in it. In fact, this one was punched on the bottom originally, but there ain't no liquid in it. Just the can is about as much too. So yeah, that's a 45 up there from Sun Records when we went to the Sun Record studio in Memphis. Big job. Husky motor oil sold at our farm and fleet stores, but well, if they sell it in this can anymore, you better grab some because it's a great one. It really is. So I'm glad you guys dig it. Like I said, I've just been trying to mix some stuff up on the shelf a little bit. So I thought, well, that's a cool piece. And I think I don't know if we looked at it on a Toy Tuesday. We've looked at it, I think, before. Big Job says, yeah, nothing like that. So it, and even when you look over here, you see kind of the flashes behind the dog, even on the smaller picture. Just an amazing can. My friend Tom Allen with the Kansas license plate, website, kansaslicenseplates.org, I think, or something like that. If you need a Kansas license plate, Tom is your guy, but he also does some can stuff. And he sold this to me, and I'm extremely appreciative of him for selling this to me. But because I got it for my daughter, for her, so it's a great piece. So it is definitely one of the better cans of our collection. So we'll throw a few other ones up, here as we work through things. But glad you guys like this one too. So Rusty Nails made it. So there she is, the Husky motor oil can. Rusty Nails is trying to bid on it. I don't think I wouldn't sell it, but it's Sebastian says the worst condition yellow one is $575 on eBay, and I got way more than that in that one. So they're great pieces though. Where's the kitty? Gray Kitty's over there on the other desk, taking a bath, licking her back leg. Gray Kitty, hey, your presence is being requested. She don't care. Jim, you ever been to Iowa Gas? I've never been to Iowa Gas. I've always wanted to go. It's just one of those things that we've never been able to make work and put together. So I've been to a lot of sign shows and things like that, but Iowa Gas is one that we've never been able to get scheduled in. We were trying to go a few times, but it was right around when school started, so it was tough for my daughter to get away. So it was literally like the week school did start, things like that. So, let's see. Rusty Nelson, he's never seen one. William says she's scared of the Husky can. Yeah. Dispatch, long time since I've seen a hole punched in that style. Yeah, that is true. That is something. We just kind of glanced over it, but yeah, the way that I'm sure that was one of the spouts, one of the pour spouts, where it stuck it in. So, but yeah, that was something else I hadn't thought of, even to discuss the difference in that hole versus what we usually have. So, that's a badge. Shopcat's heading for 400 subscribers, so be sure to check him out. And let's get into tonight's badges. Then we're going to auction off. I got a pile of stuff down here. I don't know how much of it we're going to sell. We'll sell 3 or 4 things for sure. If you guys want more, we may throw a few extra pieces in here. But like I said, I got some great stuff coming on this deal I bought this week, so I'm excited about that stuff for you guys as well. Tonight, on badges, other than the Hudson badge, because I know y'all like the Hudson badge, got a couple of them set out for this evening. And we're going to start off with a badge from the Durant Motor Company for their Star 4. Very colorful badge, a really cool badge, and a really neat badge. Obviously, Billy Durant, from his roots at General Motors. After his final departure from General Motors, William Crapo Durant set up Durant Motors. Then decided to produce a low-priced car to be called the Star to compete with the Model T Ford. So that's what the Star was. Joe says Diamond T badge. Joe wants that Diamond T badge. You won't bag off on that. But the Star was the Durant's answer to the Model T. The Star, introduced in early 1922, was an assembled 35-horsepower 4-cylinder car offered in a variety of body styles. The Star was well received and was seen as a great deal for the money. It was a success, and 100,000 cars were sold in less than a year, starting in 1922 with the Star. In 1926, a 40-horsepower 6-cylinder Star joined the Star 4 as a companion model. The Star was also successful for a while as an export model called the Rugby. But in 1928, Billy Durant was struggling to save his automobile business, and the Star was phased out and the cars became Durant models. So a fairly short-lived vehicle. However, the Star was also used for a range of commercial vehicles. The first Star commercials appeared in 1922 and were a delivery van and a depot wagon, which was America's first station wagon. In 1926, a 6-cylinder 1.5-ton truck was also produced, called the Star 6 Compound Fleet Truck, which was then sold under the Rugby name at the end of 1927. So the Star 4 was Durant Motors Company answer to the Model T, which is where this badge came from. Now, this particular badge is a 1926-1927 era Star 4. It's got like a dragon up here on top, which is pretty cool. The star across it with the star on the background behind it. Beautiful colors, a very deep blue with this dark red, almost not quite, but almost a burgundy background behind the Star. The 4, obviously, Stars mostly being 4 cylinders. However, since this was 26-27, like we just discussed, on the information, of course, I found this information on my new favorite website, American Auto Emblems. You guys got to check that thing out. No, actually, that depends. If you enjoy financial stability, don't look at it. If you enjoy financial stability, don't look at this website, because these cool little badges we look at, there's like thousands of them on there, and you get all kinds of weird ideas about what you need to buy. So Pete says it's an incredible badge. So Norma digs it. Kenny says cool history. I'm trying to keep up with the comments. I apologize if I do miss anybody. Joe digs it too. Sebastian, the first time I saw a Star was at a pre-war car show and fell in love with the look of them. But like I said, they did offer a 6-cylinder Star. This badge also was available in a 6-cylinder version. Just said 6 across the bottom, where this one says 4. Obviously has the Durant motors on the bottom of it since it was a division of Durant. This was a pressed on badge, like a lot of these were, where it was pressed onto the grill shell. But this one in very nice condition and great colors. When you look at it close with the contrast of the light blue versus the dark blue with the red and the white and the gray, it's a great badge. It's a beautiful piece. Chevy fam, no news on the 60 wagon. I haven't done anything with the one I've got. I don't know if you caught the video on the one that I just got in. This badge is 2 inches across. So that's the diameter of it. It's 2 inches 2 inches in diameter. So not a big badge, but a very pretty badge, and definitely something that stood out. And like we've discussed, those cars back in the mid 20s, they didn't have a lot of style to them. They all pretty much looked the same. You didn't have a lot to really make it stand out. These badges were one of those things. That's why this Star 4 is such an amazing badge with the deep colors to really make it pop. So hope you guys dig that one. It's a neat piece. I got tons of these to go. I'm still trying to sort through them. Some of them I'm forgetting. So many of them I'm forgetting which ones we haven't done. So if I ever do pop one up we've already done, be sure to let me know, because I'm trying to avoid that. But I have boxes of these things, and I'm trying to get to how tall? Yeah, well, it's probably I'm going to guess 2 inches. So Big John says how tall with laughing. So how about that badge? Anybody thirsty? So there's the early badge tonight, the Star 4 from 1926, 1927. 95-year-old badge, still looking amazing for its age. Now, the next badge for tonight, as always, we're going to jump up a few decades, but not quite as many decades as we've been jumping up. Sebastian, this badge is very well taken care of. Yeah, it's a great piece. We're going to jump up into the 50s now for a badge or an emblem that I've always thought was cool. This is one I've saved for a really long time, and a very unique 1-year only deal, and really something that was kind of redundant, wasn't really necessary, didn't even really need to be there. It's a very small, very fragile badge as well because of the size of it, but it is a neat piece. This emblem is 8 inches long, but it's only at the highest, not quite 3/4 of an inch. So it's long, but it's very narrow, very thin, and very small. But what it is it is a grill badge for the 1955 Buick Roadmaster. It is a small badge. Like I said, it's 8 inches from here to here, but at the top of the R, it's only 3/4 of an inch. Oh, not quite 3/4 of an inch high at the R. So this is a small, thin, frail, narrow badge. Measure using your finger. Yeah, that's what Lori says. So this is a badge that mounted on the left-hand side of the grill, actually at an angle similar to this. Now, all 55 Buicks had a grill ornament, but most of them just had the ornament. And there are actually different variations of the 55 Buick grill ornament. I've seen 3 different variations of them. But the only one that had an emblem on the grill was the Roadmaster, and it was mounted at an angle like this on the left side. Kevin, what year did they start making badges for automobiles? Pretty much as soon as they started making automobiles, I think. Dave has got a little buffering going on. I hope that's not everybody. I hope for the most part we're staying pretty smooth on that. Shopcat, shop to drink with y'all and checked on the chickens. Kevin says it's cool. Pete says loves it. Now, the most famous one of these is, William says, great script for a great car. Yep. The most famous one of these is, anybody ever heard of a guy named Jay Leno? When he went to California to start his comedy career, he went there in a 1955 Buick Roadmaster. He's had that car completely built. And if you look, in fact, when on Jay Leno's garage, I know they used the front of the 55 as part of the intro to begin with. So I actually used the front of the 55 and a 53 trunk badge on the intro. I never understood that. But if you look at the front end shots of Jay Leno's 55, it's silver and black or silver and blue. Maybe it's dark blue and silver, something like that. It's two-tone. You can see this badge on that car. So if you Google that, you'll be able to see what we're talking about. But this is a very unique size. Like I said, it's small, it's dainty. It wasn't even very visible on the grill. Now, it is a gold badge. I don't know if you guys can still see some of the gold tint to it, but it was a gold badge, just a basic stud mounted badge, nothing extraordinary at all, but a very thin and frail badge, and ones that, didn't survive a lot. Let's see. Tony says that's way cool. David W., do you have more scripts or badges? Thousands, literally boxes after boxes after boxes. So we're just trying to squeeze a couple in every night, but thousands at least. Kenny says cool badge, and everything's going smooth with him. So hopefully the feed is hanging in there for the most part. Big job. I hope one of the trivia questions is the dimensions on that blue badge, because I know the answer. Kenny says, you win, big job. Yeah, and that's right. Big job says it is delicate. It is a delicate piece. Not easy to find. Obviously, Roadmasters were never extremely common cars, being the top of the line, right under Cadillac. A dainty little badge like this, a lot of times they didn't last. If somebody tried to pop it off the grill, you're going to break it. There's no doubt about it. So cool piece, and one that I've had for years. I've actually had two of these. I found one time and I sold it, and then I regretted selling it. And I did actually manage to come up with another one. I don't remember where I got this one, but this one I got, and I held on to it. Actually, I bought a 55 Roadmaster. It was a complete car that I sold. I think I actually swiped this off that car before I sold it, because I regretted selling the one that I did have. So I actually think that's where this came from. I brought a car in, 55 Roadmaster in 6-8 years ago. And first thing I did was took this off. But then I forgot to look at the car. It was good enough to sell complete, and somebody did buy the rest of the car. But I already had the badge in my box. I kind of forgot about it, I think. So I thought that might be where this came from, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. Sebastian got the book that explains the story behind the Buick Crest. Kenny, no doubt, I bet many went into the trash in pieces. Yeah, you try to pop that off, you're going to break it. There's no doubt about it. So that's what we've got for badges tonight. The very pretty, very colorful Star 4 and the gold 1955 Buick Roadmaster grill. Big job. How many do you think you got in your collection of badges? Early badges like this, it's in probably, if you want to break it down to different ones, I don't know, 100 of them, 150 of them. I've got a lot more than that on duplicates and things like that. So I'd say maybe 100 different ones of these. But you never know. I mean, like I said, emblems, badges, ornaments, all that stuff. It's a pretty broad topic, what you're going to, consider part of that group and not consider part of that group. Daniel, is a 20 to 10 to 15 Camaro going to be collectible? I think at some point they will be, because all Camaros have become somewhat collectible. I think it's just going to take some time for those to circle back around, but I think they will be at some point. What do I have more of, scripts or badges? Like I said, there's just so many different ways to look at that. Who knows? Kevin says they're awesome. Tweedledee, have you ever thought about putting them in a frame? I mean, I said I literally have thousands of them. So we've got the badge boards that my daughter built with some of her favorite badges like this on them right over there. We've looked at a few of those, but not a lot of them. But yeah, so some of that. So, Big Job says don't drink alone. Sebastian, do I have any crit emblems? I do not have the crit badge. I've got a crit radiator grill shell assembly with the crit emblem on it, or the crit script across the front. The badge is gone, and I know exactly what you're talking about on it, Sebastian, because a lot of you guys probably don't know. We looked at the crit badge, the crit grill shell, a long time ago. Alex says he needs more badges in his collection. Well, we got one tonight, Alec. I don't know if you've got it or not, but Shop Captain former Parisian went to scrap and stole all the badges off of it. So, but the story with the crit was only made for about 5 or 6 years in the mid-teens. And if you guys want, I can get that grill shell back out for Tuesday night as well. But like I said, the actual badge, the actual enamel badge is gone off of it, but it does still say crit across the front of it. Now, the very, very unique thing about the crit badge and the crit car company, the badge, the enamel badge on the crit grill shell was a swastika. Believe it or not, it was a swastika is what they had on their badge. And now, everybody's initial reaction is going to be, oh my God, who in their right mind would use a swastika as their company logo? But you've got to remember, the swastika, this was in mid-teens. Crit was only in business up until like 1916 or 1918. The swastika symbol was actually a symbol of forward movement. So by using that symbol, Crit was showing they were a forward-moving, forward-thinking company. Now, at that point, it was nothing compared to what we think of the swastika as today. Because like I said, if you try to use that today, everybody's like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with these people? Who in their right mind would do that? But it was actually the symbol was for forward thinking, forward motion. And that was the enamel badge for the Crit. So if you guys are interested, I'll get the radiator that I've got out for, and the grill shell I've got for a Crit out for Tuesday night, and we can look at that. So we'll try to get that scheduled in on Toy Tuesday. To show it off on Tuesday night again. I know we've done it, but it was probably a couple years ago. So, but that's a good point, Sebastian. That is there again, signs of the times, and the way things are looked at today compared to what they were looked at 100 years ago can be two completely different things. So, let's see, Daniel, what parts are hard to find for 96 to 02 Camaro? That I don't know. I've only got one, and I've only driven it once, so I don't know what's hard to find for them. Sebastian, before 1933, Arizona even had swastikas on their highway signs. Okay, that I didn't know. Brian Dispatch says, I'd love to see that on Tuesday. Kenny, Nazi stole the symbol. It was around long before Hitler. Exactly, Kenny. That's exactly what we're saying. So, in the mid-teens, that symbol was a positive symbol, forward movement, forward motion. So that's exactly right. Jason made it. Never feared Withrow was here. Glad you made it. Eloy, do you still have the transmission from the Riviera? That 66, yes, I've got that. I do still have the tranny for that. I sold the motor. I've still got the tranny. Jim says there were a lot of companies that used that before that. Yeah, and I can absolutely see that. Big Job says, Jason, you're a case behind. You better get busy, buddy. So there's our badges for tonight. The Star 4, the 55 Roadmaster. Hope you guys enjoyed them. Great conversation about the Crit. Thanks for bringing that up, Sebastian. I will try to remember to get that grill shell radiator assembly out for Toy Tuesday, and so we can check that Crit out as well. So, who's ready for auction time? Ready for some auction time? Everybody had enough Hudson badges to get ready for the auction? Of course, I've got some cans. I've got a badge. I got a box of other miscellaneous sitting here. I don't know. Let's figure something out. Let's go. Number one's in for $8, whatever it is. Kevin says, let's go. Jason's in for 10. We ain't even started. So let's see. Where do we want to start at? Let's start off with a little can that's not quite as, not a real slick one, but a pretty neat little grease can. It's a good size. It's a little rough, but it still has good colors. It needs a little more cleaning and polishing, but Big Job says he thinks he just seen a badge. Randy made it a little late, but he's here. That's all right. But this can, the first one we're going to do, like I said, it's one of the rougher ones, so we'll start off with that and kind of get things moving. It is a Quaker State 1 pound grease can. I love these 1 pound cans. They're such a great size. I think these are 1 pound. Is that what these were, 1 pound? This can is 4.5 inches tall, so they're a really nice size. 3 1/4 across. Like I said, this one's a little bit rougher. This came from the farm sale. This is directly out of the barn we bought the contents out of at the farm sale with the 84 Caprice. Joe saying oil cans. Here we go. Let's see. Leonard, speaking of the 66 Riviera, I have a chance to buy that. It was built for Street Machine Magazine in the 70s. What are my thoughts? Depends on how good the build is and how good a shape it's still in. Could be a cool car. So, Anyway, Sebastian says these fit well on a shelf. Yeah. So there it is. It's a Quaker State 1 pound grease can. The back of it, Quaker State Supreme Lubricants. Right now, I've got Sebastian at 16 is my high bidder for you guys on Facebook. So Sebastian at 16 on the Quaker State grease can. It does still have the lid on it. It needs a little cleaning on the lid. It's still got some caking on it. But the Quaker State 1 pound, Quaker State Superfine Lubricants. Quaker State Superfine Lubricants are manufactured in strict accordance with the standards held by car manufacturers to be most suitable for cars of their production. Each lubricant is designed and scientifically proven. Let's see. Well, yeah, we probably don't need to read all that, but like I said, it's got some chipping and things like that, but it's still a neat little piece. I've got Alec at 20 on Facebook on the Quaker State can. A couple more comments, then we're going to put this on the timer. Let's see. Number one, could be cool, full of newspaper and chicken wire. Big job. You could have kept that can in your toolbox in the day. And Rushdale said, I can't start roadkill's not here yet. That's true, but I haven't seen Buzz on yet tonight. So Sebastian at 20, big job saying, or 16, big job. I got Alec at 20. So big job saying, no, I hear 20. We've already got Alec at 20 on Facebook. So cool Quaker State grease can. Like I said, not the best, but some of this stuff will come off. It's just going to take a little time, a little bit of rubbing compound, and spiff this thing up a bit. So Quaker State, I'm making my notes here. I've got Alec at 20, and we're going to put this on the timer. I think I'm going to change this real quick. I think we're going to go to 2 minutes because we keep running into snags. So I'm going to give everybody 2 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing started. That way, when we know we've got 1 minute down, we know we've got 1 minute left. So I've got Alec at 20 on this thing. Alec says it's got good patina. Yeah, he likes it. It is, I mean, like I said, a little bit of time on some of these grease spots. Some of this is chipping. There's no doubt about it. There is some chipping here and things like that. But, some more of this grease will come off with a little bit of time, a little bit of polishing, and it will actually look pretty decent tonight, or be a pretty decent looking can. Number one, how long until the Quaker sue for copyright infringement? Yeah. 30 seconds has passed. Like I said, we're going to try going to 2 minutes and see if that helps anybody so they know when we've got 1 minute left for sure on these timed auctions. Alec at 20 on the cool little Quaker State grease can. And we're just about coming up on the first minute. We'll give everybody an extra Hudson badge to work in there while we're going. And here we come up on 1 minute. 1 minute has now passed. So we're going to go to 2 minutes. We've got 1 minute left. If anybody's thinking about bidding on this thing, be sure to throw it out there here within the next minute as this thing winds down on the Quaker State grease can. I don't know how old this thing is, but the green and white on the Quaker State always stands out and looks good. There's no doubt about it. So everybody's thirsty. Everybody was good with the Hudson badge. All right, 1 minute and 30 seconds has passed. We are down into the last 30 seconds. So we'll see how this works. If going to 2 minutes helps everybody, or if we end up with more bids coming in right at 2 minutes and 5 seconds. But 20 seconds left. Alec at 20 on the Quaker State can. 15 seconds left. 10, and now we're just about done. Looks like we're going to have Alec at 20 on this one. Alec at 20. Oh, Sebastian cut her too close. I mean, literally, as I sold it to Alec at 20, he came in at 20.01, but we need to stay in full increments anyway. So, but Alec at 20 on the Quaker State can. Cool piece. Even some of these are a little rough around the edges. Still, they'll still clean up and display good. So, definitely not opposed to those. All right. How about another oil can? Everybody says sound off so you know how long your delay is. And something else I'm trying to do is when I start both these, since I'm on two different formats, I literally have my mouse is on start and I hit start at the same time. I'm trying to keep this thing as close as I possibly can on time so we don't have any of these issues. So we're going to do another oil can. This one does have the top cut out of it. It has a little bit of patina, but it still looks good. It's got just enough patina to make it look weathered, but it's still got good color and graphics. It does have the top cut out, which isn't always bad because sometimes they make a great pen holder, things like that. And here we go. It is a mobile oil special. Really a pretty good looking can. Like I said, it does have some patina. It does have some wear, but the colors and all the important stuff is still there on both sides. Like I said, the top's been cut out. The bottom is still in it. Like I said, it's great for you. Put your pens in it, things like that. Put it on your desk. It's already cut out anyway. It's not like it makes that big a deal. So, and I've got Alec at 10. I know some of you guys were throwing some bids out there. I don't know if David W said 15, but that was before we even had it up there. So I've got Alec at 10, William coming in at 10. If you want it at 15, David, go ahead and throw it back out there so I know, because I didn't even have it up yet at that point. But a neat looking can, even though, like I said, I like it because it's got just enough weathering, but still has the important stuff. Tweedledee at 12 on the mobile oil can. Surpasses car builders' most severe tests. Saucony mobile oil, New York. Nothing really important. I've got Pete at 20 as of right now. Pete at 20 on YouTube is our high bidder on the mobile oil special can. Got some information on the side over there, the seam on the other side, as we get ready to put this thing on the timer with Pete at 20. Jason's on a fridge run. Everybody needs a little Hudson badge to go. So here we go. We're on the timer, 2 minutes on the mobile oil special can. I've got Pete at 20 as of right now is my high bidder. Joe coming at 15. Sebastian, we got to keep it in at least $1 increments. I don't want to take $20.05. So I got David W at 22. Sebastian yanked it back off. We may have fat fingered that. So I got David W at 22 and Alec both at 22. 30 seconds has passed. And let's see. Okay, that's right. Jay Sebastian was just kidding. Okay, that's what I figured. Big Job puts a distributor cap on his desk for pins. So we got David W and Alec both at 22 hung up right now. So, and they both came in right at about the same time. I saw David W's first, but as I turned, Alex was up at the same time. So I've got 22, but Alec came in at 23. So as we come up on 1 minute, 1 minute has passed. We've got 60 seconds left on this one. I've got Alec at 23 is my high bidder on the mobile oil special. One minute 15 has passed. Joe is in at 25. I've got Joe at 25 on the mobile oil special. As we come up on a minute 30. A minute 30 has now passed. We are down to the last 30 seconds. If anybody else wants to jump in on this one, now's the time to do it. Joe at 25 is my high bidder. 20 seconds left. 15 seconds left. Joe at 25, cool can. 10 seconds is left. Joe at 25 is who I've got. And that will do it. Joe at 25. Joe hasn't got one in a week or two, so glad you snagged one tonight, Joe. Get this jotted down. And keep my stack straight here. What else do we want to do? Let's see. Let's go ahead and do a badge, then we'll do another can. Shockingly, Jason now has another empty Miller High Life can in mint condition available, in case anybody's interested. How about a badge? We did one of these a while back. I dug another one out. And these are good looking pieces. Alex like badge. Hudson badge. But we're going to do it's been a long time since we did one of these, but these are great badges. This one does have great color on the 29 to 31 Chevrolet badge. 3 inches tall, 3 inches wide. Some chipping and a slight bend in this, just a very slight bend in it. A little bit of chipping up over here, a little bit of chipping here, but deep colors on this one. Sebastian's going to start us off at 5 on it. Plus, just for the heck of it, even though this isn't an old badge, I'm going to throw another bow tie in, just kind of a toolbox bow tie. This is a plastic newer one. I had a box of these, so I was like, well, what the heck, I'll throw one in. Norma is at 20. She's our high bidder right now. Lots of bids coming in, but Norma at 20 is the high bidder. This is a press-on badge like we've looked at on a lot of these, where these were pressed to the back of the grill shell, and this just pushed this button down to hold them on. I've got Lee at 50 is our high bidder on the Chevrolet badge, or the pair of them. Like I said, I'm going to throw one of these in. Just it's a good one to slap on the toolbox. It's a plastic flat one, but we'll slap it in with the old school badge. Obviously, that's the cool one, but we're going to throw it in there. But I've got Lee at 50 as of right now. I've got a few bids coming in on Facebook, but Lee at 50 is our winner. Or not our winner, as our high bidder. Nate says the 99 Lumina bow tie is sweet. Yeah. So we're going to get this on the timer. I've got Lee at 50. I got Alec at 60 on Facebook. And here we go. Alec at 60 on the Chevrolet badge is our high bidder right now. We are on the timer. Like I said, we're running them 2 minutes now to hopefully avoid some of this last second thing. That way I can tell everybody there's a full minute left at that point. Alec at 60 on the Chevrolet badge as we are on the timer. Like I said, good colors, displays good, some scratching, some chipping. You guys want to look up close at this thing just so there's no confusion and we know exactly what we're talking about on it. But there again, great colors, definitely a piece of history, like the Lumina badge. So like I said, I had a box of these things. I figured, what the heck, I'll throw it in. Somebody may slap on their toolbox and I can talk through it. So non-pairs will be banned from bidding later. I've got that list started, old school, actually. I've got it on this computer real quickly here where I can type it up, where I can pop it up real quick. So I do have a non-paying bidder. Actually, 1 minute has passed. We've got 1 minute left. I've got a document right here called Deadbeat Bidders. So I can keep an eye on them just in case. So I've got Alec at 60. So, yep, I've got a list of non-paying bidders. Fortunately, there's only 2 on there. So, but Nate says not knocking. He's got one on each side of his toolbox. So that's why I figured I'd throw it in. It'd be a good toolbox piece. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. I've got Alec at 60 as of right now. As we get into the almost the last 20 seconds at this point. So 20 seconds left. Alec at 60 is my high bidder as of right now. 15 seconds left. Get my notes made here. 10 seconds, 5 seconds. And Alec at 60 is our winner. On the Chevrolet badge. Yeah, the $500 oil can. Yeah, that name is on the list. So, and then Joe comes in at 65 right after that. So I know we're still dealing with a feed issue. I apologize, guys. So I know that happens. That's why I tried to stretch it 2 minutes, but I don't know when you sent that in, Joe, but obviously it came in after we were done. So but we will get you some more oil cans, Joe. How about that? I got 4 more cans down here. How many do we want to sell? Let's do this one. This is a cool one. Great colors, metal can. It's punched on the top is the only problem, but it's still not bad. Old School says, bring on more cans. Alex, another batch for his collection. That's exactly right. This is another regular 1-quart can, all metal. Joe says, sounds good. Bring on more cans. We'll do that. William just says all of them. Pete says all of them. You guys want to? Okay, well, I guess we can do that. Everybody says sell all of them. Joe says that's good to him. All of Big Job says all of them. Okay, let's. We better get busy. We're not even going to get to a magazine at this point, at this rate. But one thing about it, the magazine, I was kind of surprised didn't have a ton of information in it. Jason says sell 6 of them. I don't have that many in here. Right? I guess I need to box up more stuff to bring in here. This is all metal, been drained, great colors, great graphics, on a Texaco. That's good. We're going to do them one at a time, Old School. Don't worry about that. We're not going to do them all at once. On a Texaco Ursa Super 3 motor oil. Great looking can. Great paint on this. Nice and shiny. All metal. Texaco Ursa Super 3 motor oil. Engine protection you can trust. A low ash universal motor oil recommended for diesel and gasoline engines. Texaco Incorporated, White Plains, New York. See it on the back. Let's see. Old School at 25 is my high bidder as of right now on the Texaco Ursa. It is punched on the top. So 25 is my high bid at this point. That is on YouTube for you guys on Facebook. Bottom is good. 2 holes in the top where they drained this one from. But great looking can. So anyway, let's show you guys all around it. We'll get this thing on the timer here shortly. And let's get boogieing. I got a high bid of 25 right now from Old School. So here we go. 2 minutes. David W., I've been having the sound keep getting delayed. I hit the forward video button to catch up. Not sure why it's showing a delay on that. So Gabriel's here with us. 25 from Old School is my high bid on this one. So here we go. We are on the timer for you guys. This is a great can. You don't want this one to slip away. Yeah, Old School bottle opener. That's what it was. So Old School at 25 is my high bidder on this can at this point. 30 seconds has passed. We've got a minute and a half left on this thing. Be thinking about your max bid because it is a great can with great colors, great paint, and great graphics. So here we go. 45 seconds has passed. We're coming up on a minute. Jess says she's got a delay too. So I don't know why you got a delay going right now on that for sure. I don't know what the deal is with that. 1 minute has passed. Be sure to be thinking about those max bids as we come as the clock winds down on the last minute. 25 is the high bid on this thing. And minute 15 has passed. We got 45 seconds. I've got Joe at 30. I got Pete at 35. Pete at 35 is my high bidder right now. Trying to keep an eye on things. They popped up pretty quick there. A minute and a half has now passed. We've got 30 seconds left. I've got Pete at 35 is my high bidder on the Texaco Ursa. 20 seconds left. Pete at 35 is my high bidder. Lee at 36 is in at 36. I've got Lee at 36. 10 seconds left. We're down to the wire on this one. I've got Lee at 36. 5 seconds left. And that's it. I've got Lee at 36. And then Joe came in right after that at 37. So that's... I actually had a whole bunch of 37s come in right there after that. So, but we got Lee at 36 was my high bidder. And like I said, I don't understand what the delay is doing, guys. So that's why when I tell you a minute and a minute 30, you're just going to have to be thinking about going in on your max bid. And that's all I can suggest at this point. Old School says he's got an 8-second delay on YouTube. Okay. Well, two of these cans, they're different. They're different companies, but they're both orange. Let's see. Make sure I'm caught up on comments here. So it looks like a lot of you guys, Gabriel says he's got an 8-second delay. So if there's an 8-second delay there again, that's why, when I tell you, Joseph says more cans. More. That's why at a minute 30, you got to probably be hitting max bid at a minute 30, since we've got some janky feeds tonight. So I'm thinking about doing these as a pair. Anybody want to do a pair? I think we'll do a pair. So these are both, we'll sell them as a pair because they're both cardboard, but they're both the same color. Jason says, do it. How about a pair? We're going to do a pair this time. We're going to do something a little different. We're going to shake it up. These are both cardboard cans, but like we talked about, cardboard cans didn't last. They just literally would collapse. And these are both bright orange. One is a Conoco, one is a Champlin. Let's take a look at them. Here they are. Conoco Par and Champlin. They're both, they're different companies, but how far off is the orange? It is like they could be sister cans. So even though one says Champlin, one says Conoco. So let's look them over. You guys can go ahead and start throwing some bids out if you want. We are live on these as we look them over. The Conoco Par motor oil, cardboard can, metal top, 2 small holes in the top, a little bit of delamination over here on this corner. Big job. The last time I purchased the pair, I almost got arrested. William came in at 15. Then I got Eric at 25, David at 25, then David at 30. So I've got David at 30 on this pair. Tweedledee, I've never seen metal, but I have the cardboard I have. So we've got the Par motor oil, high quality straight mineral paraffin oil, recommended for applications calling for non-detergent oil. Continental Oil Company, Houston, Texas. Sam says it looks like Tang. That's exactly what it looks like, actually. The Champlin, what I like about the Champlin is obviously, we look at the Husky, and it's like that thing is epic graphic-wise. We look at the Champlin, and it is so plain. It stands out because it is so plain. CMO motor oil, Champlin, 1 quart. They really don't say much anything on this. Champlin Petroleum Company, Enid, Oklahoma. Top is good, punched on the bottom. No delamination or peeling on the Champlin all the way around. But one being Champlin, one being Par, but they literally could be sister cans based on the color. I've got David W. at 30 is my high bidder on this pair. We're going to get ready to set the timer off on this thing. That's right. Champlin's a minimalist is what old school says. On this pair, let's go ahead and get started. I've got 30. I've got David W. at 30 is my high bidder as of right now. For the pair, you're going to get both of them. So we are live. We are on the timer. David W. at 30. I now have Alec at 32 on the pair. The Conoco has a silver stripe that kind of breaks it up. But, that orange could literally be, sister cans. 30 seconds has passed. We've got 90 seconds left. Big job. There's my favorite, and I have one of those from our days of buying Conoco oils. But Alec at 32 is my high bidder on this pair. You are going to get both of them on one bid on this auction. As we're just about to 1 minute. All right, 1 minute has now passed. We're past 1 minute. We have 1 minute left. When we get up to a minute 30, if you guys are going to throw a bid on here, we probably better be thinking about it. We know we've got an 8-second delay. So remember, when I tell you if it's a minute 30 and you've got an 8-second delay, you're down to about 20 seconds. I've got Joe at 40 as my high bidder right now. A minute 15 left. I've got Joe at 40. Facebook keeps popping up error messages and blocking my comments. So don't want to miss anybody over there. Joe at 40. We are now at a minute 30. We've got 30 seconds left. If you were thinking about a max bid on these cans, Joe at 40 is my high bidder as this thing winds down. Like I said, be thinking about that 8-second delay. We're a minute 40, which means we're about done. Joe at 40 at 10 seconds left. And here we go, just about wrapped up. I've got Joe at 40 on this pair, and that will do it. I've got Joe at 40 on the pair of oranges. All right. Thanks for playing, everybody. Glad Joe got another pair there for his collection. I got one more here since we did those as a pair. I just thought they made a good pair since they were the same freaking color as the same stinking thing almost, even though they were different companies. We'll do one more can. Then we're going to get on to the magazine. Since you guys wanted to sell them all, we'll sell them all. The last can we're going to do is a metal one. It's a little bit different. It's a different shape. It's a different type of oil. This is a Phillips 66 Outboard Can. Taller and more slender. Almost 9 inches tall. It's about 9 inches top to bottom, including the cap. 3 3/8 across. Just to give you an idea. Old Sam says Easy Rider magazines is what he's talking about. David W says the best for last. Let's see. And we're already going on this one. I've got Gabriel at 15 is my current high bidder as we start checking out this Phillips Outboard Can. Some chipping and scratching in it, but still good colors. The bluish green is very bright. So, is a deep color. The Phillips logo, obviously very prominent. Also, as well on the back, Phillips Outboard Motor Oil, SAE 30. Kenny at 17 is my high bid at this point. But you look at the bottom, it has waves going around the bottom of the can since it's an outboard can. Cap does still unscrew. I've got Norma at 20 right now on the Phillips Outboard Can. Rusty at 22. Product of Phillips Petroleum Company, Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Let's go ahead and get this thing on the timer. As of right now, we are live on the timer. I've got Rusty at 22 on the Phillips Outboard Can. Get my notes made here so I try to halfway keep myself straight, which is a job in and of itself from times. Norma at 25 on the Phillips Outboard is my high bidder. We are on the timer. We are rolling right now. Kevin, lots of Oklahoma cans. Yeah, we did have a couple of Oklahoma cans tonight. So 30 seconds has passed. 90 seconds left on this one. Norma at 25 is my high bidder. Good looking can. It's even got the increments over here on the sides to, so you know how much you were pouring out, mixing things like that. Sam's has got to get me some auctioneer training. That'd be as we're working through these and I'm trying to describe the cans and put them on a timer. I don't know how well that would work out. So I'm sure my partner on the F&E Collector Auto Auction, I'm sure Chris could give me some pointers. But 1 minute has passed. We've got 1 minute left on tonight's auctions. This is the last can. Here we go. I've got Norma at 25. As the clock ticks down on the Phillips Outboard. Sharp can. Good colors. We're saying go Norma. So just got to be careful that nobody outbids her at the last second. We are down to coming up on that minute 30 mark. 1 minute 30 has passed. So you guys with an 8-second delay, remember that there is 20 seconds left essentially. So Sebastian says they're about $60 on eBay. Yeah, like I said, it's a good looking can. So Gabriel actually works for Phillips 66. Lee at 26. I've got Lee at 26. 10 seconds left. If anybody else is going to slide one in there, I've got Lee at 26 on the Phillips can. Few seconds left, and we're just about done. And that does it. I've got Lee at 26, and then Norma come in right after that at 27. I apologize, Norma. We're gonna get you one of these days for sure. But I just sold to Lee for 26. I apologize. We're gonna get Norma something here one of these nights, that's for sure. So I know Norma won, and I apologize, but Lee come in too, so I don't think it's fair to him either. So Sam says Norma beat the count, and there again, when we're going on for what, and that's what I always tell you guys, I got to go on what I see. That's all I can do. Lee said she can have it. Okay, if Lee's cool with it, it's Lee's choice. If Lee says that Norma can have it, then I'm totally good with that. I just don't want to, sell it to Lee and then tell him he can't have it. So Lee says Norma can have it. He's cool with that. So we'll put that one down to Norma for her. So I appreciate that. Thanks for being a good sport, Lee. That it works out well for everybody that way. So I appreciate it. That's one great thing about everybody on here is that, everybody is here to have a good time. And, we don't see a lot of attitudes or egos, which is really great. So a huge thanks to all of you for the way we all play well together. I guess that's the best way to put it. So anyway, thanks a lot. Appreciate that, Lee. Sam says he can sleep tonight now. So good. So anyway, that's what I had set out for auctions tonight. Great time. Joe says Facebook is totally messed up tonight. It might be. I don't know. Facebook's been totally messed up for about 8 months, though, as far as this feed especially. There's been a lot of issues with Facebook, but I know this feed is definitely not been working from what it was doing a year ago on Facebook for sure. So anyway, great auction tonight. Had a ton of fun. Lee said who's been hit his screen first. So Jason says get more stuff out for roadkill. That's right. Tweedledee says good sportsmanship. Absolutely. That's 200% for sure. So anyhow, we got into auctions. We didn't show anybody a Hudson badge. Everybody was getting thirsty. So Buzz made it tonight. Glad Buzz is here. A couple comments popping up. Musk needs to buy Facebook next and fix it. So could be. I don't know. Let's see. Let's catch a magazine real quick. Now tonight's magazine, like I said, how's the forklift working? The loader, it's been doing pretty well actually. I haven't had a lot of time to do a ton with it, not near as much as I need to be getting done now that I've got it out there. But so far, so good. Keep my fingers crossed. So it's an old machine. It's not perfect, but it's working, and that's what I needed to do. So there's still a few little oil leaks, even with all the hoses and stuff I replaced even after I got it out of the shop. I knew I wasn't going to get them all, but overall, I'm still very, very pleased with it. Sebastian says he got his own Hudson badge. So Kenny says, isn't Facebook messed up every Sunday night? It has been probably the last 8 or 10 months. It's been really bad. That's why I always encourage anybody that's on Facebook, if you're having feed problems, jump to YouTube. Other than, a little bit of a delay issue, for the most part, YouTube feeds pretty well. Gabriel says, love all the content. Appreciate that. William says he must needs to buy Google and eBay. So. Yep, the loader's been working pretty well. So that at least I've got it back. It is functioning, and I'm getting a little bit done. I just got to get some time out there to do it. So, but anyway, tonight's magazine, like I said, I was kind of surprised that there wasn't as much content in here as I expected there to be. However, it actually is going to work out pretty well, because we had a great discussion earlier that took a lot more time than usual. We did some extra auction stuff, so we actually probably didn't need a real deep magazine tonight. So, but we're still going to do it. There's still cool stuff in there to check out. Absolutely. What we're going to look at tonight is the August 1961 issue of Car Life, the complete automotive magazine, with a super cool 300G in action shot on the cover. And like I said, There was some stuff that I didn't really get into. Article on smog, which, you know, they were dealing with smog starting in 61. Appreciate that, David W. Appreciate you reporting that. You know, there wasn't much in the article about smog. There was some indie stuff, which there wasn't a lot of meat in, but there was some cool stuff in here, so we definitely wanted to catch it, including the cover car. The Chrysler 300G road test. Chrysler 300 series cars have, from their beginning 7 years ago, been truly outstanding machines, a very special type of ownership. Gabriel, that chrome strip on the tail of 62 holes. I don't even know if that's got an 88 badge on or if it's any good. So I don't want to tell you I'm going to throw that in because I don't know anything about it. So what I probably should was that just a chrome strip. It did have the plastic insert, but that didn't include the other badge. So, but the 300G road test. Now there again, this is 1961. William reported it perfect. I appreciate you guys taking care of that and reporting those. Even though a lot, you know, inside these magazines, not a lot of color. Anthony's getting thirsty. Everybody's getting thirsty, I think. But great shots. Check out the centerfold of the 300G convertible. That big old cross ram setup. Sebastian 300D is his favorite car, made in 58. 32 with fuel injection. Yep, they did make a handful of them with fuel injection. Number one's blaming everything on old school. So, but there again, you know, yeah, Kevin says it's an awesome car. They were great cars. I love that shot of that big, massive cross ram setup. This is a nice big spread, and I'm going to hold this up too and hold it up for a few seconds so it, you know, so you can really take in all these pictures. William says, "Yep, that's a centerfold." Like I said, a lot of great pictures. Even though this thing is black and white, you look at the interior shot, the side shot, you know, the dash. I mean, just so much great stuff. Old school says he can take the heat. He's a real man. Yeah, they're still making 300s. So, number one, that grill looks like a jet engine intake. Turbine was probably already in their minds. Yeah, that's very, very possible. There is no doubt about that. But these are amazing cars that you just don't ever see anymore today. The Chrysler 300G, this particular car, as tested, obviously is a 413 with a cross ram, rated at 375 horse. You know, these were big cars. You know, top speed was estimated at 131 mile per hour. But, you know, curb weight, 4,515 pounds. Quarter mile, 16.2 at 87 miles an hour. Just a big car, but these did have good power. One more shot that we want to look at real close, and it's a small picture, so I'll kind of hold it up close, was the shot from the rear of this thing with the big fins on it. So, pretty cool piece. That, you know, a neat article and about a car that we just don't ever hear about. But that's what's great about doing these old magazines is just like we talked about earlier when we were talking about Old Cars Weekly. You know, a lot of these magazines today, you just pick it up and wonder what color the 69 Camaro is in that issue. Back then, these were real life road tests on these cars when they were new about stuff that we hadn't even thought about in a long time. So, Will's watching the 4-wide drag racing tonight. I haven't even paid any attention to that. I don't know if Palmer went or not. Is Palmer running, William? I don't remember if Scott was going to the 4-wides or not. Big Job says, I thought we're running trolls off and I bring out centerfolds. Kevin says this is the last year for the 300s. Okay. But another thing, and this is something there again, this is something we don't ever hear about. Because this was something that was happening back during the day that was tested, probably taken off and thrown away. Jason, wasn't a record player an option on the 300s? Yeah, it was. I don't know if it was still in 62, but I know right in that window it was. A record player was an option. The Car Life road test on the supercharged Tempest. Now, when you say supercharged Tempest, we have to think of when we are. We are in August of 1961, which means This was June of 1961 when this magazine was being put together. Supercharged Tempest in 61. The Tempest just came out in 61. Brand new car with the half of 389 4-cylinder, the rear transaxle, a very unique car. So this is essentially a brand new car that they're supercharging the 4-cylinder Pontiac Tempest. There again, this is stuff you never see anymore because these cars don't exist. I'm sure this was a design study, a test, to see if it could be done, but it doesn't exist anymore. I'm sure. Scott says a friend has the same car as a 62 300 with swivel buckets. And it doesn't get into a lot of pictures where you can really tell how this supercharger was set up. There's only one other engine shot, and it was a little difficult to make it out, but we're going to show them to you anyway. Pete, I'm a Camaro addict to my core, but I love this channel for the coverage of the less mainstream vehicle. David W. says, was it root style? Well, that's the thing. You really can't see much. And there wasn't a ton of information with it. I was a little bit disappointed that it didn't actually show a good picture of the setup so that we could study it. But here's basically this is what it says. So how was it done? It says Mickey Thompson did this. Uses a GMC diesel engine supercharger that's driven to a crankshaft speed versus a 2-inch Gilmer timing belt. So it was a GMC supercharger off a diesel, but it just doesn't show a good layout. Now it does show here it was a basic 4-door 61 Tempest, but that's, it doesn't really give you a good shot of how it was set up. Now it's cool to show that you see the interior shot of this 61 Tempest with this tack, steering column tack, all these gauges added to it to monitor all this stuff. So there again, who knew anything about this car? If you don't find these old articles, you don't know. Pete says, final fuel funny car right now, and Palmer did go. Okay, I haven't talked to him in a while, so I didn't know if they were going to 4 wides or not. So Scotty Palmer, a good buddy of mine, was running this weekend at the 4 wides as well. But, a neat deal. Top speed estimated 127 mile per hour, ran a quarter mile in 15.5 at 96 mile an hour. That ain't too shabby for the day with a 4-cylinder on those tires. Mid-15s at 96 miles an hour was pretty impressive for a 4-banger Tempest in 61. So, I'm guaranteed this car doesn't exist anymore. But, it's cool to be able to go back and look at that Hudson badge. That they did it. And who knows, maybe the car would surface one day. You never know. But there again, that's what's great about looking back and taking this snapshot in time, because that's what we're looking at. We're looking back 60 years with 2020 hindsight. Bill says, Force One funny car. That's cool. That guy's been around forever and done a lot of amazing things, so it's cool that he won again. Tweedledee Chrysler came out in 1970, slant 6 diesel prototype, never came on the market. Yeah, there was all kinds of experimentation back then, but a lot of that stuff, we just don't see it until we see it in these old magazines and things like that. So another thing that really has to take you back in time, 60 years, is, and this was an article that really had kind of caught my attention, and I really had to look at it a little bit. Disc versus drum. Disc brakes from Detroit, part 2, disc versus drum. Objections overrule the racing car favorite. Norma, how much of the shirts? I think it's in the text. I think double and triple X are 24 and large and extra large are 22. I've got that in the notes as well. So if you click back on this video after we're done, it's in the text. But literally, they're trying to determine whether disc brakes were going to be worth it. Obviously, 60 years later today, we don't even hardly know of much regular production cars with drum brakes, maybe a little bit on the rears. But, in 61, this was space age stuff. Literally, aircraft is what was using it, not hardly at all on cars. And it was very interesting when I looked through this article about how they were literally being looked at the time. Brake improvements are needed to give more reliability and longer life, of course, and it is well known that all American cars use drum brakes. There are many good reasons for continuing with drum brakes. And at this writing, no American manufacturer is seriously considering the highly touted disc type of brake. There again, it's bonkers to think about this, but this is what they were printing in 1961. There are many reasons, good reasons for continuing with drum brakes, and as of this writing, no American manufacturer is seriously considering disc brakes. Briefly, the reasons involved are as follows. Disc brakes do not give shorter stopping distances, which, I think they pretty much have proven that they do. But number two, they cost more. Number three, adoption requires extensive redesign of wheel hubs and front suspension components, which absolutely, we know that. Number four, the friction characteristics are erratic at times. Well, you've got it cooled to the air. It's, would be a lot better than drum. Number five, the drum offers better protection from dirt, sand, water, and ice. And six, drum brake linings last longer. So, crazy. Old School says drums are lighter. Yeah, because I think because of the amount of components, Buds and Badge. But I mean, it's literally that's how they were viewed in 1961. It is worth remembering that the so-called disc brakes were pioneered in this country, and though they were originally developed for airplanes, the Crosley of 1949, as we've talked about on here before, had such brakes as standard equipment. Here we must point out that disc brakes actually fall into two categories: those which use one or more calipers with spot clamping applications, and those which are true discs with 360-degree linings similar to a clutch-driven disc. Now, one thing we also have talked about on here before, along these lines, and it is mentioned in this article as well, was the early 50s era Chrysler limousines with the disc brakes on those cars, the Lambert disc brakes. Those were actually discussed in here as well. That obviously they were expensive, troublesome, hard to get parts for, but they were, what were they, Astro Lambert or something like that? Disc brakes that the Chryslers used on the limos that our good friend Robert had some, actual original wheel covers for. So, obviously we know now, there again, hindsight 2020, 3 years later, mid 64, when they were testing the 65 Corvette, it did come out with four-wheel disc brakes. How short, how quick things can change, so to speak, in the car world. That they literally were saying how drum brakes are so much better in this article in August of 61. 3 years later, in August of 64, they were coming out on Corvettes, and now they're basically on everything. So, Rusty Nell says, my dad hated disc brakes. Pete, sounds like the author had stock in a drum brake company. That could be very possible. William, yeah, easier to work on discs, but still loves drums. Old School carbon discs should be standard. Tweedly D, now we're looking at electric brakes. Yep. David, Studebaker used Bendix disc setup in 62, same as Jaguar, so they were starting to go to it. Also says magnetic brakes. Everybody looking a little thirsty. So thought that article was very interesting, the way that they were looking at that. Couple more things we're going to catch. Like I said, not a ton of great content in this magazine. And the other thing that really shocked me is there is literally almost no ads in here. We're going to catch them, but there's not many of them, but there are classified. So we'll catch some of that stuff as well. Right now, we're going to skip up to the Motor City Memo report and catch some of that stuff on the Motor City Memos. Kind of like similar to the Detroit report when we do Motor Trends. The Motor City Memo was the car life version of it. Jody, sold my car today that I had for 18 years. That kind of stinks. What did you have to end up selling today? You always hate that when you got to sell one you didn't want to sell or didn't, you've held on to that long. William, didn't Jags and Coopers win disc brakes in the early 60s? That's kind of what they talked about as far as the racing sports car world was starting to use them. But the major manufacturers were not. So But in the Motor City memos for August of 1961, some of the things they were talking about, it was mentioned in this corner last month, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes interest in fuel injection in Detroit these days. There are definite indications fuel injection might show up on truck engines, if not passenger car engines in 63. GM Truck and Coach is seriously considering fuel injection for this V12. I've never heard that they were ever considered fuel injection for that engine. But there again, that's why we're looking back at their history. Mike Salinas is our winner in top fuel at the 4-wide Nationals. Bill's keeping us updated on that as well. But when we look back and we see these notes of what they were considering, what they were playing with that didn't happen, it's really cool to check that stuff out. One reliable source close to fuel injection development reports that some truck engines fitted with recently developed fuel injection systems are showing a bonus of up to 10 to 15% more gas mileage than the same engines equipped with conventional carburation. Nor does fuel injection interest stop with trucks. Chevrolet, for one, is doing a good deal of experimental work with improved fuel injection systems, which figures that Chevy is the only automaker now offering production fuel injection. And Marvel Schebler is just one of several suppliers to the auto firms who are working diligently on timed injection systems priced right for cars. So there again, lots of it, still out there circulating about fuel injection. Obviously, we know now it was several more years, actually a few more decades before we really saw fuel injection really come into the mainstay. But they thought it was coming quicker than that, the way it sounds. Jody had to sell an 80 Regal, live in the country with crap roads, and led to the decision. Yeah, that happens too sometimes when you live out in the country. Compact convertibles coming. American Motors and Studebaker-Packard probably won't have the compact convertible market to themselves next fall. It appears that almost certain all three BOP compacts, Buick, Olds, Pontiac, will add soft tops to their lineups for the 62 model year, which they did do. So that actually did come true. So there again, some of this stuff happens, some of it doesn't, but it's always cool to see, what they were testing, experimenting with, learning about, playing with, trying to see what they had to go with. Plymouth Dodge Dart diet for 62. Engineers at Chrysler Corporation have the Dodge Dart and the Plymouth on a diet. The resulting slimmer, shorter, lighter cars will be the standard 62 models. According to the best information available now, the two cars will be basically identical, but variations in front end sheet metal grills, fenders, and the like will give them a different look. The wheelbase for both cars will be 115 or 116 inches, and overall length will be in the 200-inch area. Width will be about 71 inches. Weight will be just under 3,000 pounds. Which obviously we do know the Dart and the Valiant did get smaller, into more of the compact arena. So once again, something that did come true. So David W. Studebaker Lark compact. Yep. Jody said felt like he was giving his dog away, but he got good money for it. Yeah, and that at least you got good money for it. It still sucks to let something go after you've had it for 18 years. So Kenny says very cool, like the old history. Jason says I live in the country with crap roads too, but ain't nobody getting none of his stuff. So, but Jody's going to get looking for a 70s era 4x4 now. Well, that'd be cool. So a couple of blurbs from the Motor City memo from August of 1961. Always great to go back and check that stuff out and see what was going on. Now, one more thing we're going to look at, new products. Of course, there's all kinds of stuff in the new products with testers and things like that. But a couple things that were very interesting in the tabletop road race in the new product section. Oh, and by the way, I didn't show you any pictures of the Motor City memo because there isn't any. That is the Motor City memo article. So I didn't ignore you. I just, there really wasn't anything to see other than the little picture that says Motor City memo. Brian says, thumbs up, nobody's. Big job. Where's BW and Kim at tonight? I don't know where they're at. But let's flip to the new products real quick. Check out a couple of things here, including tabletop road racing. You can now race Sebring or Le Mans or just go for a Sunday drive without leaving your home. So Real is the electrically powered racing set called Model Motoring in HO scale. Set includes 2-inch long electric powered motor driven cars and roadway sections to form miniature Riverside and Lime Rocks. Basic 2-lane sets, including cars, roads, and accessories, are priced from $16.95 to $29.95. 4-lane layouts from $39.95. Right, Aurora Plastic Group in Hampstead, New York. There it is. Old school early slot car tracks, new products. Tweedledee still has his '02 Dodge 5.9 coming 6-speed original owner. Guess what, Tweedledee? So do I. Only mine's a 5-speed. I didn't order an HO. I didn't need an HO, so I ordered a 5-speed. So I still have my '02 Dodge with a 5-speed Cummins sitting in the shop next door. I just hit 90,000 miles on it. Well, I did 3 years ago. Last time I drove it, it hit 90,000. Just rolled over 89. So I know where you're coming from there. I'm holding on to mine too. Just a Scout would be cool. Jody, my friend is a big Scout collector. Yeah, you ought to go try to grab one of those. Those are cool. Anthony, where's Gray Kitty? She's over there ignoring us. Gray Kitty. Gray Kitty. She's looking up. She's like, what do you want? You're bothering me. You gonna come over and hang out? Come on, Gray Kitty. She's like, I was washing my paw and you interrupted me. Bill, yeah, Bill's a big toy guy. He's a slot car fan. Tweedledee's got 70,000 on his. I've got a video up on mine. It was a couple years ago when I did it. But mine's a burgundy extended cab, long bed, 5 speeds, what mine is. David W. still has his AFX slot car. Randy, Henry Ford was using the Hesselman fuel injection system in 1908 Model T. Huh. Billy's on with us. Joe says she's looking for more cans. No, actually, she laid back down. She really don't care what we're doing. She just laid her head back down. I think she's going back to sleep. But anyway, one other thing we'll catch real quick, and then we're going to catch the few ads that are in here. And I say few because there's few. And but the other one I thought was kind of interesting was Corvair air conditioning. Obviously, Corvair rear engine, air cooled, rear mounted. Problems involved in air conditioning rear engine cars are claimed to have been solved by the John Mitchell Company with the introduction of its Mark IV unit for the 1961 Corvair. Briefly, the unit uses a reverse rotation compressor, steps up the speed of the fan, and seals off the engine compartment in such a way that all of the air entering the compartment flows over the condenser. Wind tunnel tests conducted have apparently proved this unit to be most satisfactory under long periods of operation. So, Scott on Facebook still have most of his HO stuff that his older brother's got in 62. So right back, literally. So this is probably what Scott has literally right here because his older brother's got it in 62. So that's probably what Scott has in his collection. But this Corvair air conditioning, we can see the unit right here. We can't see it real well, but basically it's a box that's sealed, directly to the bottom side of what would have been the hood or the trunk lid to make sure it guaranteed all air flowed through the condenser to make by today's standards, probably a very poorly operating system, but for the time, a system that was acceptable to get some cooling out of it at least. So let's check out the few ads that are in here. And I say few, I can't believe it. Chris here, he got here a little late, but that's okay. Brian Dispatch Nader must have been proud of that. Yeah. But like I said, I can't believe how many ads are not in this magazine. I don't know how they printed the thing. I literally don't know how they printed the thing, unless everybody that got an article in it paid for the article. But the first one is kind of a cool piece. Whiz-per sound and zooming power from Grand Quiet Tone Mufflers, high efficiency fiberglass packed Quiet Tone Mufflers, right down here in the corner. Would you buy a muffler from this guy? But there again, definitely signs of the times, definitely 1961 for sure. Something else they were selling you in these magazines back then, the Sakanovsky prints of great automobiles. Your choice of 10 of this famed automotive designer's 4-color portraits. So they had literally, and there again, they're talking about what are old cars, classics in 1961. 1906 Ford Runabout, 1913 Henderson, 53 Mercedes, 54 Bentley, 09 Cadillac, 19 Pierce Arrow, 23 American LaFrance, 23 Rolls, 29 Duesenberg, and a 57 Rolls. So that's literally what they were selling you for memorabilia at that time, prints by great automotive designers. Bill, a supercharger for a Corvair. And literally, I had to go to the inside back cover for the next ad. I mean, literally, that's about it. I mean, literally, there's just a few other ads that were not very exciting, and that's it. So, like I said, I don't know if everybody that got an article in had to pay for it, but they didn't have enough advertising to print this thing the way it looked. And the inside cover ad is actually theirs. Road and Track, Car Life, Competition Press were the three titles. And this was your subscription rate. You get Road and Track and Car and Life for 1 year for $7.50, Road and Track and Competition Press for 1 year for $8.50, or Road and Track by itself was $5, Car Life was $4, Competition Press was $5. 3 for the automotive enthusiast, Road and Track. So not much there. The back cover had a Peugeot on it. I guess we can check out the Peugeot. I don't know nothing about Peugeots, but there was a Peugeot inside. So maybe that's why they got an article on a Peugeot, because they paid for the magazine. William, there wasn't much color back then. I mean, most of these magazines we looked at from the mid-'60s on back, there's literally not hardly any color inside of them. That's a badge. But we do have classifieds. We're going to check out some classifieds for sure. Big job. Corvairs don't like field bombing, especially running down trees. Sounds like there's a few stories there. But in the classifieds, in August of 1961, what was available? What was it going to cost you? Starting off with a dual Ghia. The Italian design Chrysler powered cars that were cars of the stars. The Rat Pack drove them. Dual Ghia does not say what year. Like new original owner, must sell to settle estate. Pearl gray, Royal Master tires, Chrysler 300 engine. Best offer over $6,000. And obviously, that's a well into six-figure car today for sure. Brian, dispatcher friend Tom McHale was a bargain at 75 cents. Yeah. Number one, there was a conversion kit available for a turbo 215 V8 in the Corvair. William says, Bill says, don't pick on Corvairs. Pete says, cover half the Peugeot front end. It looks like a 55 Chevy. Okay. Let's try that real quick. Yeah, and I don't think you're terribly far off, honestly. Let's look at half of the Peugeot. There's half the Peugeot. I don't think you're extremely far off with that comment. But anyway, let's catch these classified ads, because there's a couple of them in here that were pretty awesome, actually. Obviously, a dual Ghia going to cost you $6,000. A Ferrari Testarossa 2-liter 4-cylinder sports racing car, excellent condition, fast and durable. Does not say what year. Does come with extra wheels and a trailer. $3,950 for a Ferrari Testarossa. That's obviously got to be a six-figure car, if not a seven-figure car today. Of course, $4,000 in 61 was a ton of money. Ton of money. I mean, that was like new Corvette money I think that was like new Corvette money in 61. That's not something your average guy had laying around. Number one, Corvair Lakewood is one of Chevy's most beautiful cars. Brian Dispatch, we call them puke jokes. Big job. Yeah, Bill, was fun for a night. The Corvair was fun for a night of four-wheeling. So, but let's catch a few more of these, because some of these are just absolutely amazing. 47 Lincoln Continental, all black. An all-black 47 Continental. That would have been quite a car. Have spares available. Spares and sources available. Must come with extra parts. Exceptional original condition. Reflects gentle use and loving care. $2,000. 57 Lincoln Continental Mark II. This was the Mark II. The hand-built, very few built Mark II Continental in 57. Beautiful, impressive car. Easy to drive. Excellent mechanical condition. 19,000 miles. White, air-conditioned, blue leather. Original price $11,800. So that kind of puts things into perspective. The top of the line, over the top, super expensive Lincoln was $11,800 new in 57. But you can own it in 1961 for $4,500. Now, this next one was the one that really made me cringe. William French, yeah, they copied our fries. 1956 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing. Yep, there was one in here. concours condition, hand-rubbed gold lacquer, custom interior, Michelin tires, expertly tuned and maintained. $5,950, $5,950 for a 300 SL Goldwing. Obviously, a seven-figure car today, but there again, $6,000 was a crazy amount of money in '61. But David W said that'd been pretty white with a blue interior. Yeah, absolutely. Brian dispatched the Nissan Juke as a joke. Yeah, those things are god awful. I can't deal with those. So that Goldwing really, really stood out in the classifieds, obviously, as well as the 1957 Studebaker Golden Hawk, 30,000 miles, supercharged, positive traction, immaculate condition, never raced or abused, must sacrifice $1,600. So for a supercharged Golden Hawk. So pretty cool stuff there as well. Old school can't deal with anything newer than 91. But that's it. Like I said, not a ton of stuff in David W. is excited about the supercharged Golden Hog. Yeah. In the August 61 of Car Life, but it was something different, you know. There again, we haven't done a lot of Car Lives. I've got more to do. Maybe there'll be more meat in the next one. But like I said, we had plenty to talk about tonight, so it was okay that it was a little bit short. Sebastian got it. The Nissan Juke is a disgraceful car to the world of design. I can't say I disagree with that statement at all. David W. loves the Studebakers. Rusty Nails. Wonder where those cars are today. Tweedledee 2002 for diesel. Anthony, cool. Love the old classifieds. Yep, that's for sure. Old school agrees with Sebastian. Joe, back of the magazine. That was the Peugeot that we just looked at. Was the back cover was the Peugeot. Joe on Facebook asked. Kevin, is that still in publication? I do not believe that it is, but I don't know for sure. I mean, it's so hard to find magazines anymore. You know, you basically got to go to a Barnes and Noble or something to find any sort of an assortment. You find a few here and there, but not a ton. But one, if you think the Juke is ugly, wait till you drive it, then it'll be ugly and crappy. I'll go back through that again. Number one, if you think the Juke is ugly, wait till you drive it, then it's ugly and crappy. Good way to put it. Appreciate you throwing that up there. So there we are, August 1961 of Car Life with a cool action shot. Now you got to remember, a color action shot in 61 was a pretty big deal. So they definitely did that to catch your attention on that cover. How about some trivia? Then the big raffle. Then we're going to talk about some new inventory. Then we're going to talk about some then what's coming up next week on videos. So, trivia time. We're going to give away a little tire patch kit for the Western Flyer Bicycle Company. Neat little can. This is a Pole Barn Garage can. Remember, Pole Barn Garage brought me a box of cans to share with you guys. That's where this came from. Had the kind of the serrated top for the tube. Empty inside, nothing in it. Cardboard can, a little bit of fading, Western Flyer bicycle tube repair kit. That's what we've got tonight for trivia. Roger's back. Worked in wrecking yards most of his life. Rusty Nail says, you think you hate it now, wait till you drive it. A little bit of Chevy Chase and a vacation worked in there. But trivia tonight. We are going to put this on a timer. I think we'll get it. I think it's easy enough. We'll get it. But I do want to set the timer just in case, because we do give you 90 seconds on this. Just so we're not sitting here for 5 minutes while people look. But let's see. Sebastian's like, what is the big question? Well, we're ready to go here. On the old video of the 1975 Oldsmobile 98, what was the dealer name? There's two words to the dealer's name. What were they? We are on 90 seconds. Anthony, Car Life stopped publishing in 79. Nobody else in the lot will even try to sell you this car. The dealer's name for the 79 Olds, or it's not 79, 75 Olds 98, excuse me. So we are on 90 seconds, so we don't drag this on for the rest of the night. Keep an eye on both formats for the dealer's name for the 75 Olds 98. 30 seconds has passed. We've got a minute left. A few guesses popping up, but Nothing, nothing yet. I didn't think this was that difficult, but we'll see. 45 seconds has passed. I guess it was a little tricky way to find it. It was kind of a tricky way to find it, but we're just keeping an eye on things. We still got 30 seconds left. So there we go. Number 1 got it. D-Dove. Number 1 is our winner tonight. It was Dove Buick Olds Cadillac. And it was on the keychain. That's right, William. Dad did work there. That was one thing that Doves never did do until about 15 years ago, was they never put a dealer badge on a car. Doves never put a dealer badge on a car. About 15 years ago, they did start putting a dealer sticker on them, but they never did put a dealer badge on cars ever since when D took it over in 58. Chris is on from Delaware on Facebook. Glad you jumped on with us for a while tonight. That's right, Sebastian. The letter, they said Lee got it earlier. Oh, no, you're oh, see, it didn't feed to me. It came in 2 after number 1 on my feed. So that's where the mix-up was. Yeah, Lee got it, but it came in. I've got number 1, then I've got a comment from Rusty Nelson. I don't know. Then I've got Lee. So on my feed, that's how I got it. So that's, there again, that's where we're fighting the system on that. Let's see. Big job. Yeah, but GM would have been better off being sold to a private sector. Old School says Lee got it. So everybody's saying Lee was first. So, that's rock, paper, scissors. It's number 1 says, I don't care, whatever you guys want to do, because it basically was the same thing. So, whatever you guys want to do, if you want to do that, that's cool with me too. I don't care. So if you and Lee want to rock, paper, scissors, that's perfectly fine with me, since it was apparently at the same time as far as what you guys were seeing. Old School says his show Lee answered twice. Let me double check. Let me go back through here. Oh yeah, it did. You're right. Lee did get it. Lee did get it. Lee is our winner. I apologize. That was my fault. There was a bunch of stuff that popped in right at that time. I had a comment from Big Job and Kenny, some comments from Kenny that all came in immediately after that, and it shoved Lee up to the top. That's my mistake. I missed that. Lee did get it. I apologize, number 1. Lee definitely did beat you on that. So I'll put that with Lee's other can. That was my mix-up when because I had about 6 comments come in, and it just ticked it right up on top of the list. So I missed that. I'm glad. Thanks for catching that, you guys. I appreciate it. Because there again, when some of those comments get coming in quick, that can absolutely happen. So thank you for making sure that you guys saw that and let me know what happened, so we got it straight. I appreciate it. So that takes care of trivia. So guess what's next? Let's give away that. Let's give away the Sinclair sign, the license plates, a can. Let's see. Oh, one other thing we got to do. I got to do something real quick before we do the raffle. Hold on. Bear with me for 1 second. Since we're going to be giving away the raffle tonight, and we're going to be drawing out of the big Buick oil can, I'll put on the big Buick oil can t-shirt. How about that? Since we're going to get the big Buick oil can out for tonight's raffle, we'll do it with the big Buick oil can t-shirt. How's that? So, for the raffle tonight, Jason says as long as he wins everything, it'll be fine. So, let's see. And there again, I got a bunch of comments popping up. Let me get caught up here. Make sure I don't miss anything again. Anthony says his fingers are drunk. Old School says nothing past his Iron Dome. How about some Hudson badge? Let's see. Sebastian wants one of those shirts. Anyway, Dispatch Brian sent this to me. I thought, well, perfect time to put it on when we get the big Buick oil can out for tonight's raffle. So, who is in? We got a lot of names in here. Lots and lots and lots of names. Appreciate all you guys supporting this and having fun with it. Whose names are in here? Salty Reese's Cup made it tonight. But I'm going to read the names off that are in right now. If everybody I'm going to read is in the can as of right now, if I don't read your name and you thought you paid me, let me know so we can either get you moved into next month or get your money back because it didn't go through. Glenn says we'd have a Hudson Badge t-shirt. So right now, who is in? Ray Carmichael is in. My dad, Steve Ehrlich, is in. Mike Matty is in. Brian Dispatch is in. Jess wants one of those shirts for her birthday month. Your birthday month is 5 months away. Don't worry about it. So Jess's birthday is in October, and we're already starting on Jess's birthday month. So you were all warned. I warned all of you. It's already starting. So Tweety D, how do you pay for the raffles? You can do friends and family with PayPal. You can send me a check. You can send me a money order. Some people throw $5 in the cash in the mail. Doesn't matter. All of those work. Western Union, mail, PayPal, friends and family, any of those work. And we will have another raffle next month as well. So as of right now, like I said, Ray Carmichael, Dad, Steve Ehrlich, Mike Matty, Brian Dispatch, Norma is in, Russell Cement Surfer is in, Kenny Peterson, Peter Winters, Alec Blanchett, Eric Taylor, David Weber, Lee Carr, David Woodcocks, William Alderman, Ron Walensky, big job, John Bennett, Rusty Nails, Jess is in, Mike Barger, Jason Withrow, Brian Schultz, Dennis Chapman, Sebastian Taylor. So if, yes, there is, we are going to pull 4 names, Kevin. There is enough for 4. And, the more you guys participate, we'll keep throwing more at it. Obviously, I'm not, there's not going to be enough prizes for everybody, but as it keeps building, I'll throw something else in, to kind of keep things going. So yes, we are going to pull 4 names. First name out of the hat, I assume is going to want the Sinclair sign. You have your choice. I mean, people are going to have their choice if they want, but the Sinclair sign is kind of the grand prize. Those are the names that I read off. Obviously, like we've talked about in the past, the second prize, which I kind of figure is going to be the second prize. And that's right. Thanks for Sebastian. That's another thing. Tweedledee. The details of it are in the text part of the video if you click on it after we get done. The new old stock 1956 Kansas license plates, 2 of them in the original wrappers, consecutive numbers 0830, 0831 are going to be the second prize unless somebody wants one of the prizes after that. Third name out of the hat, the Phillips aviation can. This is full. I will drain this unless the winner says I want it full and is willing to pay for the extra shipping. Cardboard, however, great graphics, and I love aviation. So the aviation can's always a little bit harder to find, always a cool piece. Fourth name out of the hat, as we kind of taper down the prizes, we're going to give away one more license plate. It's used but very nice condition, 1974 Kansas embossed metal plate will be the fourth one. So if we're all ready, let's get to it. If I pull your name and for some reason you don't want that prize, you want one further down the line, that's cool with me too. Just tell me. As always, once I pull your name, you're out. Once you win something, we'll go with we'll keep pulling if you've already won. Sebastian, cardboard can should be drained so they last longer. That's kind of how I see it, but some people want them full. So Bill's turning 65 this month. His birthday's coming up. So if we're ready, let's get after it. Roadkill Steer, I haven't heard anything out of Buzz. Drum roll. I think I got one. I have one. I've got one. I've got one. Here we go. Our winner, first prize, William Alderman. Get this jotted down. I think William is on tonight. I think I've seen you commenting. Yeah, I know you have. I know I have. So William Alderman on the Sinclair sign. Congratulations, William. He's excited. Now, for the license plates. Rusty Nell says he wants the can. I haven't seen William say he wants the can, so I'm guessing he probably does want the Sinclair sign. So now on to the new old stock, consecutive numbered 1956 in original wrapper plates. William is out. If we pull William's name again, we will pull another name. William says the Sinclair is definitely a keeper. That's kind of what I figured. So we got it whittled down to one. Nope, I don't have it whittled down to one. Had a couple of them in there. Here we go. Now I got one. I've got one. For the license plates, new old stock, consecutive numbers, license plates, we have Norma on the new old stock 1956 Kansas plates. So let me jot that down. Congratulations. Okay, a couple comments popping up. Let me try not to get too far behind here. Roger, I'm on lunch here, so this is a little trivia. 55, 57 Chevy had the same dash in them from 55. Let's see. Number one's getting a little nervous. I keep saying I'm digging for one, saying I got one. So, okay. I'll tell what I said. I'm down to a single. I've got down to a single grab. So, now, the Phillips 66 Aviation Can. Unless Norma wants something different. She didn't say any different, so I assume she'll take the plates. So, Phillips 66 Aviation Can. All right, let me get down to a single name this time. See if I got one. Yes, I've got one single name. I've got a single name in my hand right now for the Phillips can, and our winner is Peter Winters. On the Aviation Can. I know I'm trying not to. I'm trying to get better about it. One more thing to give away. This is an all metal 74 embossed plate. It looks like it's been used, screwed on something, but it wasn't used very long because you can still see the shine on that thing. 388, kind of a cool number. So let's pull another single name out of the can. Number one says the plate belongs on a muscle car. Let's see. Alex says a great looking sign. Chris says those plates are cool. Yeah. Jason's favorite color is orange. Let me get whittled down to a single name as I'm digging through the big Buick oil can here. Jason says me. Oh, I got one, but it's Norma again. So we're going to draw again. I got Norma that time. She's already won. So let's try it again. Let's see. Let's get it whittled down to a single name. Eric Taylor is our winner on the 1974 plate. So there we go. That worked pretty good. We only had one duplicate. So congratulations, everybody. I'll double check my notes and see who I do or don't have addresses on. If I don't have your address, I may have to check with you, next week. But I know Norma said she's going to get a shirt and stuff. So that won't be a problem. I can put hers in with the shirts and things like that. So, but congratulations, everybody. Thanks for playing. Had a ball with it. Now, what are we going to do for next month? Well, I don't have anything laid out yet. I've got some ideas. I've got some stuff that are definitely possibilities, but thinking about doing something a little bit different, maybe. Obviously, the Lawrence Swap Meet's coming up next week. Maybe me and Jess will go shopping. We'll see if we can find, or if anybody else is going to be there. If you're going to be at Lawrence next week, let me know, and we'll all go shopping and try to pick something out. Let's see. Sebastian wants to throw a shirt in the raffle, some shirts in the raffle. Yeah, absolutely. We can throw a shirt in the badge. Joe says throwing the Diamond T badge. Yeah, we can throw a shirt in the raffle next time. Josh still looking for 55 or 54 Olds Dash. I've got that 54 that's got a whole dash in it. It's the only one I've got. But, dashes are so much work to cut out. But Kevin says, pick a car out of the yard. Number one's been beating me on that for a long time. But maybe we'll do some shopping at Lawrence. Like I said, I've got 3 or 4 pretty cool things that are, definitely a possibility. But as Rusty L says, nobody's a winner here. That's right. Glenn says, Primer Cat shirt. Hey, Gray Kitty, where'd you go? She's down there eating. Gray Kitty shirts. Jason's got to go get rid of some Miller. Kenny says, give away a card. Jess is down for doing a little shopping next week at Lawrence for next week's raffle. Salty Reese's Cup. Enjoyed it all. Back to welding sheet metal. Catch you later. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. So we'll see what we can find at Lawrence. If we don't find anything at Lawrence, I've got plenty of stuff. It's not like I'm out of stuff to raffle off, but I thought that might be kind of fun. So if any of you guys are coming to Lawrence, or if you're coming to Lawrence and you've got something that might be good for the raffle, let me know. Maybe I'll buy it from you, and then we'll raffle it off for everybody. All kinds of different things. But since the swap meet's coming up, I know Rico and Jess are going to be there. There's a possibility maybe some of you other people will be there. Let me know. Give me a call. Catch me there. Let's see what we can find. Or like I said, if you got something you want to sell that fits into that realm, let me know. Maybe I'll just pay you and maybe we'll raffle it off. Who knows? You never know. I thought that might be a fun way to do it, though, that we could add to it kind of, that maybe we can have some more fun with it. Because that's what it's all about, is the group we've got on here having a good time, talking about old cars and having fun doing it. So Big Job says, I'm only lucky in love. Just ask all my ex-wives. Sebastian, can I ship you some badges? I have an Essex and a Dodge Brothers. Sure, that would work too. Kenny, thanks. He's out. Good show. Appreciate it. Elo's got some oils and signs. Yeah, if you guys got some stuff you want to sell that would, I don't have a problem buying stuff from you guys and then raffling it off too as part of it. So, so just something to think about. I thought we'd go shopping instead of just grabbing something else off the shelf. I thought we'd go shopping a little bit first and see what we can find in Lawrence. If not, we'll grab something else. And, that I've got sitting around here. What are we looking at on dates for May? So yeah, we'll probably give it away like June 5th. And then because the the 31st is on a Tuesday. So we'll probably do it like on, that following weekend or something on the giveaway. But just something else that popped into my head that I thought might be worth trying just for the heck of it. Let's see. Brian's Dispatch, really fun group. Anthony, you rock. Chad, wish British Columbia was closer to Kansas. Rico and Jess are bailing off. Glad you guys made it. Tony says, glad. Hi guys, see you next week. David, first time here. Glad you enjoyed it. David W says, good idea. So a couple more things we're going to catch before we wrap up real quick, like we always do. New inventory and what's coming up for next week. New inventory, what happened this week? Obviously, I told you I bought a bunch more parts. Some stuff that is going to be for you guys. It's going to start popping up on the auctions over the next couple of weeks, so that's going to be great. Of course, plus tons and tons of parts. The only car I picked up this week, 1980 El Camino. Running, driving car. Complete running, driving 80 El Camino. But it's got frame issues. So probably not really buildable, but great parts car. 350 small block, automatic, buckets, console, floor shift, rally wheels. So that video will be coming up soon. Plus, like I said, more parts videos too. Pete says, I suggest ruffling off an F-body. Glenn says, thanks. William says, welcome to David. Big job. We'll sell you 75 Lodestar fire truck. Jason, Sunday night, my favorite night of the week. David, do you have much Newell stock parts? Yeah, I got a lot of Newell stock stuff sitting around. David Brummer, I want an El Camino. Russ tells us to know where a frame is. Number one, do you ever guys table up at the end of a swap? Maybe you can make loot bags that have multiple smalls and papers that are old and cool, just not valuable. That's a possibility. Dispatch, seen people bailing, then looked at the clock, couldn't believe it's 11:30. Or yeah, we're going long. Yeah, I know it's been a long night already. And I appreciate you guys that are still here hanging in there because it has been a long night. But we had a lot of stuff going on tonight, which is okay. Sebastian prefers the Ford Ranch, the 73 Ranchero. So that El Camino came in. That's all I picked up. What's coming up on videos next week? New inventory. I know I got a video coming out Monday that I'm really curious to see how it's going to do because it is not the most exciting car on the face of the planet. However, it's kind of different. The 1977 Ford LTD2 Brougham. But for an LTD2, this thing is loaded with options. So kind of a weird car, but not the most popular car. So that video's I don't have real high expectations for it, but I want to get it up. I want to show it to you guys. It is new inventory. There are guys out there with LTD2s. So like I said, we've got the Lawrence Swap Meet coming up. We'll try to bring you a little bit from there. Maybe me and Jess will do some stuff from there. Or anybody else is going to be there. If you're going to be at the swap meet, let me know. We'll all do some videos. Who cares? We'll have a mini live and hang out for a little bit. Toy Tuesday, we will catch that. I've got a super special piece I got last week I'm going to share with you. We'll get that crit radiator out, check that thing out. Plus, we've got a viewer box for Toy Tuesday. So that's what's coming up Tuesday night. Plus, plenty of new inventory. Oh, you decided to make an appearance. Come here. Yeah, see? Everybody wanted to see you. Yes, you didn't want to be caught, but I caught you anyway because everybody wanted to say hi. So, yes, there. Now you said hi. Number one, eat a lozenge before the show and after. Yeah, no kidding. We've just gone so long tonight, so much to talk about. It's starting to show. David W. loves those big IHs. Big job. Still here till the ship sinks. Sebastian, LTDs are neat cars. You don't see a bunch of them. That's right. The gray kitty's here. Sassy. Yeah, she is sassy, aren't you? You're sassy. Yeah, she didn't like me grabbing her tail. She's up here flipping her tail till I grabbed it. So, live raffle shopping. So anyway, that's what's coming up. We'll see who's going to be at Lawrence besides Jess. If you're going to be there, be sure to let us know. We'll do a little shopping. We'll throw another Hudson badge up there just for the heck of it. Congratulations to all the night's winners. Super appreciate everybody playing along. That's what makes it fun. We have a great time with the auctions. We have a great time with the raffles. We'll see if we can find something really cool for next week, for next month. If not, I've got more cool stuff. Don't worry. But we'll see if we can come up with something cool. Jason, trying to make employment changes so you can do swap meets and stuff. That'd be cool. Anthony says, see you Tuesday. Number one says, stay excellent, everybody. See everybody Tuesday. Big Job's going to figure out how to post that international here soon. Anthony says, night from the left coast. Joe, PNW 3350 Turbo Supercharger video. Yeah, I do need to do that too. 60s Truck Magazine, check already in the mailbox. Perfect. Thanks, Joe. Sebastian's already ready for Tuesday. That's right, Kevin. This is number 110. Episode 110. As bonkers as that sounds. So I guess that's what I've got for tonight. As always, I appreciate you guys swinging by, hanging out, spending basically your entire Sunday evening is what it amounts to with us. And hanging out for a while and having a good time. You guys are what makes this what it is. Me sitting here in front of a webcam is not what makes this what it is. Your guys' participation, your involvement, your knowledge, your sharing, that's what makes it what it is. I super appreciate it. Sebastian's birthday is coming up. He's going to be 21 on May 14th. So that's coming up here pretty quickly too. So we'll have to keep that in mind. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the help. Be sure to check out the other videos. Be sure to keep up with the other new videos that are coming out here soon. Lots of stuff coming in. Tons of cars that we haven't even showed you yet. William says 110 great shows for nobodies. Yeah. Alex says great show. Joe says see ya. That'll do it for me tonight. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for coming by. The Sunday Night Circus we lovingly call Sunday Night Live Chat on the Nobody Show channel. Thanks for being here. Thanks for making it what it is. We will see you again live Tuesday night. We may see you live from Lawrence. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But we'll definitely have some more stuff coming out, and we will definitely see you back here next Sunday night, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, Sunday Night Live Chat or the Sunday Night Circus. I mean, you kind of go either way with that. And we'll have some more fun. Lots more comments popping up. Everybody saying signing off. Jason says we'll call his address tomorrow. That will be perfect. Big job. If you're pulling the cat's tail, you can change the name to Quad Balls. Yeah. I just touched the tip of it. That's all I did. But she was being attitudey anyway. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm out of here. We'll see you next Sunday night if we don't catch you Tuesday, or we might catch you in Lawrence too. So thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you then. And definitely hope to see you back here next Sunday. We'll see what Jess and I find, and anybody else that shows up finds. See what we come up with for next Sunday night. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you later.